We starting the podcast before the guest even gets on this fucking bitch. So you guys can feel the vibes that we got going on. Got some FKJ going on, which is my top artist for the year. Oh, we got Masego coming on now. Lavish Lullaby. Ooh.
Wanna use my fame to lay with a model. Say my name till tomorrow. We can bang and rain till tomorrow. Just a grain of May remains in the morning. Finally got this gold chain, got me feeling like driving up a gold bait, just a 27.
Talking to Jaredisrose. That's his Instagram name. Jaredisrose. I think his actual name is Jared Velarde. Something like that. Let me see. I'm talking about the guest who's about to be on. If I'm not mistaken, his full name is Jared Velarde. Let's see. His full name, I think, according to his email, is Velarde Jared. 123 at Gmail. I don't think that last part is a part of his name, but Velarde. So Jared Velarde. That's the name of the guest. He's got music on Spotify too, so let me look that up. I was listening to it yesterday leading up to this. And probably going to talk about it during the podcast. One of his tracks, which is the first one I heard from this project, is called Pink Lemonade. And the name of the project is called Electronic Magazine. So here's Pink Lemonade. And this is not only him, but it's my other friend. His name is Josue. Hopefully I'm not being mistaken. Pretty sure his name is Josue. So it's Jared and Josue. And the name of their group is Gems. Yeah, Gems. I'm so high. But I feel fine. And I'll never let go of you. When I pass by. I'm not drinking pink lemonade, I'm drinking coffee. But it's okay because they actually have a track on this project called Coffee. So let's start that one. I'm drinking coffee, so why not play the track by Gems called Coffee? Here we go. Coffee. Oh, shit. The homie's on. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Da, da, da. The homie Jared. You can hear me though? Yeah? Alright, I can't hear you. But there's no pressure. We ain't rushing. We ain't rushing. Oh, I think I can hear you. Hold on. Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Like, okay, or is it like...
No, I could actually hear you. This is my volume was pretty low.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I can actually hear you perfectly fine now.
Cool, sick.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, you know. Just Sundays, you know. Typical Sunday.
Typical Sunday? What's a typical Sunday like?
Man, I don't know. I always listen to what is it? Why Are Sundays So Depressing by the Strokes.
Okay.
That song, it kind of, Sundays are just like gloomy. I don't know. They feel like, I don't know, hazy, you know?
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's how I felt when I had some shit going down on Monday. Like if I had work starting Monday or if I had like school or practice starting Monday, it's just like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. Like now it's back to that shit, you know? Is that kind of the
Yeah.
feeling you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So what do you
Yeah.
have starting up tomorrow that would cause that feeling?
Well, I mean, I guess it's just like, the start of the week again, and it's like, how am I gonna do better this week? You
Yeah.
know? It's like, what am I gonna do to advance? Like, um, like, what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah. Do
why
you
is my
have like
video
do you have
off?
a like are your weeks pretty consistent right now or like what does your week generally look like?
Well, honestly, you can't see me, can you?
No, I can't see you right now.
What happened? Uh, why is it just cutting off? I don't know why it's doing that. Hold up. Why did it do that? Hold up.
There's a ghost in the room.
There, dude. I'm scared.
Dude, the lighting in your room
Now?
looks pretty cool though. Yeah, now you're back.
Okay, cool. You
Well,
said, what was it? What did you say
well,
again?
I guess now I'm interested in the lighting in your room to be
The
honest. How'd you
lighting?
do the purple? How'd you do the purple?
I don't know. I guess it's just because the TV, it just like reflects off. I don't know. It looks cool though. I like it though.
It does look sick. It looks like, dude, this is Jared's vibe right here.
Basically,
Well, the
basically.
first thing I want to tell you is that there's legitimately no expectation to this, like this conversation. Like
Yeah.
legit, and I've told my friend, like my friend Sierra, like
Uh-huh.
we had a podcast. I'm like, yo, like we don't even have to air this shit. So
Mhm.
like
I
that's
feel
the
you.
kind of vibe it is. It's really just a conversation.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel you.
Pretty much it. Just see what happens.
I like that. I like that approach. It doesn't give like the pressure of like,
Yeah,
pressure.
no pressure. Have you heard
Yeah,
that?
I feel you though. My back has been like really messed up. And you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, my back last week was like really messed up and it kind of backed up a bunch of things and I was just in bed, all the
Yeah,
time cuz like my dude, yeah, cuz last year I almost tore like a tendon
in your
in like
back?
my lower back. Yeah, my lower back. I almost did. I tore some fibers and
How?
I had to like I don't know. I was just doing, I was super active, doing crazy stuff because I'm just, and then that backed up a lot of things, and I just had to like take medication and, you know, you
Okay.
know, all that stuff. I'm trying to figure
How does your back feel nowadays?
it. It feels now it feels good, because
Mm.
like I I like was trying to, I have to rest it, and I have to like, all right, well, what am I gonna do for me to do better, I need to rest it, as much as like I want to be doing things like crazy,
Yeah,
I need to rest it because it's not going to do it,
yeah,
like we're just working backwards if I don't,
yeah. You need to have the patience. That's right. How do you like cope with that? I mean, like in like let's just talk about your back being fucked up. Like, what is it that you would do to kind of embrace that time and like still make it productive? Or
I mean, I definitely try to watch like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really too much of like a movie or like a show person,
mm-hmm.
but recently I've been trying to, like what am I gonna like how am I gonna get inspired that way? Like
Yeah.
watch documentaries. Like I watch Vice a lot
Ah, okay, okay.
because Vice be having some shit. Vice be
What
having
have you been watching on Vice? Because I know I've seen it. Like I'm also someone who has like I don't know too much about like TV shows and this and that. Like for a long time, because I
yeah,
was always training for cross country and track, I was like completely out of the culture.
Hey,
But
you were running though.
I was just fucking running,
You were
bro.
running though.
But now I'm kind of getting more into it. I mean, I'm watching The Mandalorian now, and occasionally I'll watch shit like
Mandalorian.
that.
I need to get into that.
Bro, The Mandalorian is like fucking amazing. And for me, at least, it just really
Yeah.
inspires me. But what have you been watching on Vice?
On Vice, just randomness. I think like just the gang stuff obviously is one of them.
Okay.
Random gangs one. There's the codeine. Was it the codeine? The codeine epidemic, quote unquote, on I think it was on where was it? Uganda. They have
Okay.
like, yeah, I think there's like a technically, I guess they have basically it's like they're the cheapest way to get like high out there, you know? I guess for like $5 they buy like a bottle of I think it's called Brawn Clear, and
Okay.
it's like it's codeine, you know, it's like it's cough syrup but it has the codeine, you know?
Huh.
So they get like they drink it, they just drink it and that's all they do, but it's like but that's how they get high. Like, you know?
But you said it was called codeine? You said something codeine?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. If I'm not mistaken, it's called
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
codeine.
I saw somewhere they were I think I was with my dad, and my dad loves to watch YouTube videos and shit. And he was
Yes.
watching something like it was some part of I think Africa or some country where definitely it's like a third world country. And these
Yeah,
people were making charcoal, like what you would use to like, make a fire and like eat your food. Um
yes.
and the way they would produce that was by like I think it was like, oh man, it's like they get a bunch of wood and then they put some shit underneath the wood and it just kind of sits there in the smoke for a while. And
Yeah,
anyways, in this country, like the people would literally like do this drug. I don't know what drug it was, but they would do this drug just so they can get by with the day because the labor that they would do to produce that product was just
yeah,
so intensive and so draining that legitimately the only way they could like consciously stay awake and go through their whole day was like
yeah.
doing this drug.
Dude, yeah, that's like that's how you get addicted, you know? Like that's how people get addicted to things. Like fuck. It's like I it's like me with coffee.
Okay.
You know, coffee's like technically it's a drug. Caffeine is a drug, like
Yeah.
regardless, you know, like a lot of things are drugs. Like I don't, you know, like an addiction is an addiction regardless of like if an addiction, there's no good. I don't know. No, let me rephrase that. There is healthy addictions, but there's a lot of bad addictions. But there's definitely healthy ones. You know,
Okay. So
like
what would be an example of healthy addictions?
I mean, if taking care of your body, you're addicted of taking care of your body. I guess you know
Yeah.
that's a healthy thing. I guess you know, but I mean, there is extreme where it could get unhealthy. I guess,
Yeah.
but I'm just you know, I'm just pointing things out. But
No, I get what you're saying because it's like, for instance, and I mean, you hear it from people. Like I know Joe Rogan has said it. I like Joe Rogan. Like he said it. Like you can have an addiction to like a drug or going to the casino or
yeah,
there's all these different types of addictions. But you could also get that addiction and like kind of transfer it to something that's more healthy. Kind of like what you're saying. Like if you're invested in your own health and that's kind of your addiction, then you could
yes,
have an addiction to that. But like you also mentioned, like I think it also could become radical to the point where supposedly it's
radical.
healthy, but then really
Radical.
it's fucking up your mental state.
Yes, I feel you. No, I feel you on that. Man, I'm trying to make. Where's the
If you
baby?
can't get your camera, don't even trip. But
Bro, it's
whatever
like
works.
it's like cutting off for no reason. Like,
Hmm.
hold up, hold up. Let me see now. Let me try it now. It's like tripping for no reason. Let me see. View full screen. Okay, cool. Command V. No, it's not
You
doing
have
it.
a Mac or
Cool.
do you have a PC?
I have a Mac.
Okay, I have a Mac too. I don't know. When you're on Zoom, like it
Yeah,
has a little. It looks like a camera icon on the bottom left, and it
it
just says stop
does.
video or.
Yeah, it just doesn't let. I've been clicking it and I've been trying to do like it says, okay, what's
Don't even
the
trip, dude, because legit, I mean, this is gonna be an audio podcast as well as the. It could just be the audio, so it really doesn't matter that much.
yeah. Well, it matters to me.
Okay, no, no, no. If it matters to you, go ahead. We got fucking time, so.
I got time too. I'm gonna go to my parents' house after this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like a little. We're gonna have like food. I don't know. We're gonna make food or something.
Ooh. All right.
Make
What kind of food you guys making?
I don't know. My stepdad just told me, but he gets down though. He gets
Does
down.
he?
He does.
What kind of food does he generally make?
Like every fucking Mexican shit you can think of, like, cause I'm Mexican as fuck. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like I mean, so you fuck with carnitas?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So like he makes, whenever we did have parties, he would make a lot. He would make birria, he would make just everything, and like when he gets on like the grill, he just I don't know, man. Like just traditions and like culture, like it goes a long way, because they just pass along like how the food was made, and it's just always there, like the
Yeah.
authenticity, the like, and you can't beat that, like you can't, like it's crazy, like
No, I agree, bro. And like, there's like you said, it's something about the actual process of the way they make it. Cause you could look up some shit on Google and find like a fire ass recipe, but like unless you actually fucking make the dish over and over and over and over and over, like it's not gonna taste the best. You know what I'm saying? I
yes,
mean, sometimes I feel like if you're just experienced in cooking in general and like you kind of just make it your own twist, like it could come out bomb, off the get go. But
yes,
like in order to make it like the traditional authentic style whatever, like definitely I feel like it takes a lot of time because it's the little like subtleties, the little nuances that make it so fucking great.
facts. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because I had my freaking monitors on, and I just turned off my monitors, and I just put on my freaking headphones.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sexy.
it didn't even make any fuss when you transferred that.
Oh, sexy. Yeah, it's just my interface I use freaking for you know what a focus rate is, right?
Focus rate.
Focus rate.
Focus rate. No, I don't know what that is.
It's just like a typical. It's a basic, like, people call it mixers. I guess they're like in a way, but they're just, to plug in stuff for like music and stuff
Okay,
and
so it's an
monitors. Yeah,
interface then.
yeah, it's an interface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays I know a little bit about musical stuff since obviously my brother's in music and I was living
Yes.
with him for about a year and a half and pretty much
Yeah.
everybody in that house, obviously you've come over, like
Yes.
everybody in that house played an instrument. Like my
That's
brother my brother played the piano, Anthony played the bass, my friend Juan
yes.
played the drums, George played the acoustic guitar, and I
That's
was like the
fire.
yeah, dude, like it was super sick. And like I was the only one who wasn't so much musically invested because I was just like in school and I was running and training and shit.
Yeah.
Not even, I was like maybe like a quarter alive.
A quarter, dude.
I was like a quarter alive because my body was just physically so damaged.
Fuck. Man. Should be happening. Like if you're like always constantly like stress does a big thing. Like
Hell yeah.
fuck. Especially running too. Like, damn. You be
Yeah, bro,
running.
I was doing that. I was doing that shit in a very unhealthy way. Like, talk about, I mean, we could go back to talking about being addicted to healthy things. Like,
Yes.
that's kind of the way I was, but it was in an unhealthy way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. To the point where like stress was getting to you and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit.
It was
You
more
were
counterintuitive. Like,
yeah.
because I was looking at things from like the immediate future and how they looked, like from right here to right there.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't looking at the deeper consequences of what I was doing.
Oh.
I would get an
Mm.
injury and I would persist past the injury. And you could look at that and like kind of the optimistic perspective would be like, man, like you pushed yourself and you kept going and you didn't give up. But then it's also like,
But
yo, like
you need a fucking rest.
yeah, you're fucking up your body. You're disregarding like what your body's telling you, which is to fucking take a break and like you're injuring yourself. And so in that sense, I was separating the connection between my mind and body, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a mind. No, I feel that. I guess it's just a mind thing, right? You were just
Yeah.
like, fuck all this like body shit. It's all mine, and I'm gonna get better, and But it's like you gotta be like think about the future and like what if your body actually does get pretty fucked up. You know, you
Oh
can't
yeah,
you can't do the things that you would do before. You know,
exactly.
like fuck. That's me
And
with my
that
back.
that's you with your back.
Yeah.
So what is it? I know you say you were just doing a bunch of crazy shit, but what exactly were you doing when it got really fucked up?
Uh, I don't know. I was trying to do this like this like head stall or something.
Head
It's
stall?
like I don't know, like you know those like where people just like it's not like a hand, it's kind of like a handstand, but it's like when your legs are just like tucked in, when you tuck in your arms to your knees or something like that, and then you just stall on your like hands. So it's kind of a handstand in a way. I
Okay.
was doing yeah, I was doing some like jumping around crazy
So do you
shit, you know.
dance as well?
Uh, technically, cause, bruh, like I like dancing. Everyone likes dancing, you know. I
Yeah.
technically dance just cause I took like classes and stuff in high school. I had to, you know, it's part of like school, you know.
Yeah.
But college was, yeah. I took ballet. I took like jazz class. Jazz, yeah, it was a jazz dance. It was what else? Tap dance. I would like fuck it. I would skip that class all the time. I was kind of like bad. I thought I was gonna be good at it because I'm like, dude, I'm good at rhythms, bro. I could do this shit.
Yeah.
Hell no, hell no, I could not do that shit. Somehow I still passed it. I have no fucking idea how. Cause dude, I would skip that class all the fucking time. It was bad, but
This was in high school, right?
this was college.
Oh, college. Okay.
Yeah, I would skip that shit. Like it was bad. I did mad.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to. Have you heard of the Young Americans?
No.
Yeah, it's like it's low key, but it's not low key. It's like weird, but basically it it was barely accredited like my sophomore year, I think, because
What?
it wasn't accredited. It was weird. Like it was kind of like, oh, we had a partnership with like another like community college from like Michigan, and like they helped us like whatever or something. But we had, you know, it was legit teachers and everything was like cool. But it was almost like a performance group college that's not accredited yet, but we were getting there, you know.
Yeah.
And I think my sophomore year, like we were always thinking like, fuck, when are we gonna get accredited? Because like all these things, like all my credits, you know, like whatever, is it gonna count? Whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got into like, oh, all right, guys. Like one day we were like, we all had a meeting. Like we all had a meeting in like the hall or like this like big where we would rehearse. You know, like it was you know we'd rehearse all the time, and there was these two big rooms. So we met in one, and there was only like 200 of us there. There's not a lot of us.
At the
And like
whole campus?
yeah, well the campus was like small. It was like warehouses and stuff. But like it was dude, it was weird. But like when you think about it, but you know, you work with what you got. But it was cool though. It was really cool. But yeah, and then like we had I think out of all the people that attended there, because the thing is like a lot of people there went on tours. Like they would go on tours because that's what the college like the group was. Like we would go on tours and we would do outreach with like different like yeah, we'd go to different countries. I denied tours because I didn't have money and I wanted to save up to pay for the next semester because I yeah, it was expensive and I couldn't really afford it, you know.
So
But
what was the type of education like? I mean, what is it like? You're saying tours too. Like, what were you guys touring and what were you teaching or what were you doing? Like, is it like a place for like music artists or was it like or like what was it?
it was more to like kids in schools, you know. It
Okay.
was like it was like we would I did a couple I did some like they're called workshops. We did like workshops where we would teach like a group of I don't know how many kids. I think the most kids I've worked with was like probably like 200 altogether, I think.
Okay.
It was a lot. It was a lot. But you got, you know, you got to and there was only like 40 of us, and like the 40 of us got to make those, maybe not even 40, probably like 30 something, but like we had to make all those kids, like we would teach and we would break up into sections and we would all teach like dances. Like if someone was good at teaching a certain dance, or like if certain dancers, because like the group consisted of like, it was basically, oh, all of us, we all auditioned to get into it, you know? So we all were quote unquote talented somehow, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, technically I got in, I don't know what I got in for, but I just beatboxed in my audition. But I was, you know, I wanted to sing. So I would teach a lot of like singy stuff, and like when it came to like the cooler, like I don't know, when it came to like the rappy stuff and shit, like I would teach that, you know, because
Okay.
and like it would, because I could teach dance, I could dance, and back then I was a lot more fit too, and like I was just, you know, I was fit, I was active, I was always like on it, and you know I could dance, I was dancing, you know, I was doing it, like it was intense though. But yeah, we would teach and stuff, and like teach dances, teach like I would teach like choir parts. I would teach like a bunch of stuff that would consist of like a whole 2 hour show. So in 3 days, we would teach a whole 2 hour show to like kids, right? Of all ages. And in those 3 days, they would learn all that, and they would learn it and they would perform it. And we had like, you know, like good mics and good PA systems, and we would all set it up, and we had lights, we had sets, we had every, you know, so it was all a big deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have the kids, and they, you know, their parents would come see the shows, and it was fun, you know. And it was it was like a lot of work, but it was like rewarding, you know.
Yeah.
It was rewarding
Did
for
you
sure.
feel like every time you would like teach a group or you would teach a lesson, do you feel like it kind of made you better at whatever it was that you were teaching?
Oh heck yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's because like sometimes you don't have to be. I think what I learned from all that was you don't have to be the best at what you do to be a good teacher. You know,
Mm,
because like I the whole time like people think like, oh, you're so good, teach me. But one thing is, yeah, a lot of people that are good can't be. How do you know that they're gonna be good teachers? How do you
yeah.
know that they're gonna be so good to like break it down and simplify it to somebody and make it super basic when they already know all these things? That doesn't necessarily mean that person's going to be a good teacher. It's not in their, you know, they can work to that, but they can't necessarily be that. And we got trained to be, you know, teachers. We got trained, we had like teaching methods class, and like, but it did teach me a lot for me to get better in what I do as a performer, or as a, you know, and
Yeah.
then as a teacher too, I guess, you know.
Yeah. So
But
what would be your like I guess biggest takeaway or advice if someone's trying to teach something? Like cuz I've been creating like a little bit
hmm
of content here and there like for the past year and shit.
yeah.
And like I've also been like a team captain for cross country, track and field. But
Oh,
just as someone who like wants to teach or be that leadership role, from your
yeah.
experience, what's kind of like your advice, I guess?
My advice. Uh, don't take my advice. No, I'm kidding.
Or what's your perspective? Like,
Fuck
you
my.
know,
I'm kidding. No, yeah, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think just go into it without like without an ego, if that makes sense. All right,
mm-hmm,
have an ego, but ego in sharing the experience. You know, because like of course, you know, the teacher a lot of the times the teacher is technically quote unquote better than the student, but
mm-hmm,
students are, you know, really good too, you know. But if you're teaching, have be open to, okay, I'm gonna give and pass along my knowledge, but you are also gonna teach me, and it's just we're gonna bounce off each other. So
mm,
it's just gonna, you know, bounce off, you know. So like whatever you do, you know, there's gonna be people that aren't really gonna want to do it. Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of people that aren't gonna want to like go on with the same energy, but you have to make them, you know,
okay,
make it work somehow, because like it, you have to make it work, you know, you have to make it work. But definitely go on with an open mind. Don't like force. a lot of things. Just don't be too like, yeah, like I said, don't be too with your ego in it, like, oh, I'm a teacher, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
well, we're here. Well, we're gonna learn some shit. So what's up? Like, you know, like super just calm. At least that's my thing, you know, like enthusiastic, but like not so egotistical, you know?
Okay. No,
If
I
that
get
makes
you because
sense.
dude, I mean, all I fucking do, to be honest, and I was just explaining this to my friend, is like
Yeah.
I'll spend a lot of time by myself nowadays, obviously, especially because of pandemic, but just in general, that's kind of my personality. I like, for whatever reason, that's kind of how I like regain my energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's something that I'll contemplate. Like for a while, I was like, yeah, like I have to practice like humility and like, you know, not having a big ego. But like as I like kind of dwell in this and learn about myself and oh shit, all right, you're back.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It was so stupid. It just comes back and then it leaves again. Like it's so dumb. I hate it.
No worries. I was gonna say like, cause it's this weird balance between like, cause you have to have some degree of ego. Cause if you don't have any ego, then in a way, it's kind of like, how are you gonna express yourself to the fullest level? You know? Because I feel like
Yeah.
if you need to, like, if you want to express yourself, like, you need to understand yourself and like know who you are, because you are an individual person who has a unique biology, a unique life experience. Like, you know, we all
Mm-hmm.
have different
Mm-hmm.
temperaments and personalities, and like a lot of it's not even like we chose it, it just so happens to be the way it is. And
True.
so in a way I
True.
feel like you have some ego to understand how you want to project yourself and what makes you happy and what you feel comfortable doing. But then
Mm-hmm.
you have the humility from understanding, like you said, like some kids or some people aren't going to want to do things the way that you want to do it, or they might
Yeah.
not be as inspired to do whatever it is you're doing. And you have to be able to kind of understand where they're coming from and then create a
Mm-hmm.
path that is
According to that.
inspiration, yeah, according to the way they feel.
Yeah.
I feel like that in itself, like being able to understand somebody and like and being able to help them in the way that they need to be helped, or just, I don't know, something like that. Like I feel like that's actually something that takes a lot of practice.
I think it's because everyone like learns differently, you know? We
Yeah.
all learn differently. We all grow at different paces. We all like do everything different, you know? We're all built the same scientifically, but we're built different in there, you know? Like we all have different ways of learning. We all, you know, might have disabilities, like, you know, but it's still we still have the capacity to learn like all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. Do you know what's so weird? This is coming through my mind right now.
What?
Because like when I really invest myself in a conversation, I'll start to like not look at the camera.
Yeah,
And,
no.
and the reason it
Yeah.
makes sense is because I learned there's a book called The Genie Within. Have you heard of it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, if you haven't heard about it, the genie is your subconscious,
Genie.
and
Oh.
so the genie within is your subconscious, which is what has like the power. And what
Mhm.
the book teaches you about the difference between the conscious and the subconscious. And the
Yes.
interesting thing about the conscious mind is that it could only ever focus on one thing at a time. So I
Oh
can't
fuck.
actually look at you and really be saying what I'm saying at the
And
same exact time. Like if I'm actually
okay.
looking at you right now, I'm alternating between looking at you and actually talking. It's very
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah. So you're not focusing on one thing exactly. Like you have to focus on one thing exactly. You can't exactly like if I'm doing this action, it's like fuck. I got to take it step by step. You know, you can't just
Literally, you're only
switch it
ever
up.
focusing on one thing at a time. Like you can't actually watch TV and write a paper. What you're doing is you're looking at the TV and then you're going back to
Alternating,
the paper. You're alternating, but at super fast
alternating.
speeds.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. We're not superhuman. Fuck. I thought we were. Fuck.
We're
Not
pretty
kidding. Not.
superhuman.
No, we are low key, high key,
Heike.
high key.
All right. So, is there anything in particular that you want to talk about that you're feeling inspired to talk about?
Uh, I
This
don't
is like
know. Just life,
just life.
life. I don't know anything that comes up.
So,
Like I'm just
Have you been interested in the conversation so far?
yes, yeah.
Uh, man,
Teaching. I haven't talked about teaching in a long time.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I yeah. I mean, I've been like recently, because what was it? I like tweeted something. I tweeted like, oh, what did I say? I said something about like, oh, I kind of want to start like doing like little like songwriting, like just make like Zoom calls or something, songwriting Zoom calls or like something just to get me started onto how am I gonna do that? Because essentially, I want to like eventually just like start producing. I mean, I'm start producing for people and just send out beats, but like paid beats, and like or like songwrite, like ghostwrite for people and stuff, and like, but I guess for me to like learn and get a different perspective from people, I feel like, of course, it's my way of expressing myself, and like when I write my songs or whatever, it is constructed in the way you can hear it's constructed, But another thing is I want to be open so I can keep growing and find something else that I didn't find in myself, but I found it in another person because they helped me find it.
Mm. So you want to start.
Sometimes you need.
So you kind of want to start producing stuff for other people, so then you get to like see different perspectives and different angles and
Mhm.
like that
I
kind of
mean,
thing.
yeah, essentially, like that's what I want to be doing, but like I want to do like little like calls and like this, or like a bunch of people or just like whoever's interested or like I guess at first I'm not gonna be like charging for it, but I think eventually we like at the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, we just want to do it, but sometimes you gotta place, we're all valuable as people and like our time, our work, because essentially it could be work sometimes, so like eventually I'll start charging, but it's like how if people want to pay whatever they want to pay because they got whatever they wanted from that, whatever knowledge that they could have gotten from a class somewhere else, but it's like this is different though, so they choose to pay whatever, but I just want to like teach basics of songwriting and make it not so deep because it's not that deep, but it is, but it isn't, that
Okay,
makes
so,
some sense.
so you
That
want
makes
to
some
be a
sense.
teacher basically, like you want to teach the thing in which you're very passionate about.
hmm Yeah, I want to. I mean, I want to use that still because I still have that in me, that instinct of me, just to like teach and like I have the not make it so deep where it's like, oh, people who like if other people aren't good at it, like good at just making things so basic and so like this isn't that deep, check this shit out, right, and like
Okay.
other people are just like so like, oh yeah, dude, I just play this, play these keys or play this guitar, dude, how do you do that, dude, just play it, look, just
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, but there's a different understanding that I have with like, just because of what I've been through teaching and stuff,
Okay. All right, so fuck it. Like obviously I'm pretty interested in music and I'm like getting into that. So let's say
hmm
for instance if we were to have one of those calls right now, if this was
Yeah.
one of those calls, like and I'm somebody, let's say if actually myself, because I'm a real fucking person and I am just kind of new into music. Let's
No
say if I
fucking
were
way.
gonna, huh?
You look real at least. I mean,
Let's say because I haven't actually written and produced like a whole song.
yeah.
Let's say I'm here and like, yo, Jared, like
Yo,
I'm
what's up?
gonna write my first song, and like, what's some advice for me like composing my first song?
Composing your first song. Um, First songs are always like, and dropping your first song and like doing all that stuff, like technicalities, just for it not to be so technical, just making the song, writing it, recording it, whatever it might be. Essentially, it's your way of expressing yourself. You choose, no one could judge you in how you express it, no one could judge you. Like when people say like, oh dude, like why do they do this, why do they do that, why are they singing like this, like my question is, why are you judging someone for expressing themselves? You can't, like, no one could tell you anything, like why are you going to tell me this? You can't tell me that because it's like you can't tell me how to think and how to say things because it's me, like I
Yeah.
can't be another person, I can't, be like that. Like when, for example, if you look at a person and you're like, I wish I could sound like that person, but they could say the same thing about me, about something I do, like about, oh, I wish I could run like that. I wish I could play basketball like that. I wish I could sing like that. I wish I could do whatever, you know? But it's like you just gotta own yourself and like realize that anything that you're doing, you're expressing yourself in whatever way, you know? It's coming
Yeah.
from you and strictly yourself, you know? That's the first thing.
That's the
Realize
first
that.
step.
Don't like we all judge ourselves all the time, you know? It's normal, but like coming into this, be like, okay, if whatever you say in that song, whatever you're writing, you know, if it's like poetry and then you're going into like making it melody or whatever it might be, or if it's just melody and then you make it into, you know, like a freaking you make it into a song, you know, you write it. But I guess think about like I said, what you're expressing, channel whatever you're expressing, and then use that, take it step by step, because at the beginning, really, there's no rules. There's no rules to it, you know? You gotta realize there's no rules to songwriting. There's like structures, but there's no rules, you know? Like there's a lot of structures in people, like modern pop, there's, you know, and all of music, there's like structures, but if there's somebody who like taught me how to like who gave me a different perspective on like that was listening to Frank Ocean. Because him, we all know he's so good, you know? Everyone knows, oh, we play him, you know? Everyone knows how he has a great voice, he, you know, his songs are good, everything, but he's a lot better than people think he is.
Hmm.
Like, he is way better. Like, the fact that a lot of his songs, they don't have, like, structure. He just sings and, like, doesn't, just random parts, and, but we love it. It's so weird. Like, you listen to Blonde, right?
Blonde?
Blonde, yeah.
I'm not too sure, bro, to be honest.
Okay, that's your first homework right there. That's your homework. Listen to Blonde by Frank Ocean. That whole album.
Oh, that's the name of an album?
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
Blonde.
okay.
Yeah, that album. There is some structure in some songs, but a lot of it just seems like it's not. There's really not that deep of a thing. Like, oh, the chorus is here, the verse is here, the pre-verse or the pre-chorus or like pre-whatever, or like the outro, or he kind of just sings and kind of just fucking vibes, you know, like just vibe. Like
Huh. Damn. Yeah,
that's
it's funny. My brother was just telling me that recently too about Frank Ocean, and like he pretty much said the same exact shit you just said. Like he's pretty underrated for what he actually does. And like
very,
it's kind of like
very,
unless you're kind of, because there's always that double perspective of like the simplicity but then the complexity. And like,
yeah.
so it's like I feel like somebody who knows music. So like now that I'm understanding music more and I've seen my brother producing music and I've kind of fucked around on GarageBand, like you
Hmm.
realize there's all the different layers that go into what you hear.
It's
You
a
know?
lot. It's a lot deeper. Like, mm, it's like okay. So Frank Ocean, he's good. We all know he's good, you know, but he's underrated as like I want to say songwriter, just like as a musician or like a person. He is underrated as a person, not as a musician or whatever, because his lyrics are good, everything's good, but like the way he like carries himself too, like there's really no interviews with him. There's like a couple, but they're like really short, and he doesn't talk about personal life. He doesn't talk about because that's separate from like making. I mean, you do put a part of your personal whatever you want to say express, but personal life with like money, relationships and people out in life, like you gotta that's separate, that's like really separate from like the music, because like there's a lot of terrible fucking people that make great music. There's
Mm,
a lot of terrible fucking people that I've like listened to even now, but it's like it sucks because cancel culture is such a big thing, and I know everyone's like but it's there's actual canceled people who are actually like actual terrible people, but then there's like the people that just like to point fingers and never point at themselves what they could
mm,
fix in themselves, like of course, like we've all done some shit in our lives. Like we've all made mistakes like that are, other people have made bigger mistakes, but like damn, like we just gotta realize that sometimes we separate like certain things from certain things, like if I listen to that song, like I don't know if Frank Ocean's a fucking bad person. I don't know that. He could be. I don't know that, if we were to meet him, like, oh, what if there's certain habits that no one knows about or nothing, because there's a lot, there's a lot that we don't see in his personal life, in his like social life, whatever. He could be, he could not, but at least I feel good just listening to the music, like
Yeah.
I guess separate personal from the music itself, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it seems like everybody does it kind of different. Because I mean, like you said, Frank
Hmm.
Ocean is someone who doesn't, I guess, really talk about or have interviews and stuff. And then you have
Yeah.
people who are completely opposite. Like, let's say Kanye West. I don't know, he's coming to my mind. Like, he's just
Oh,
very
bruh.
out there about everything that he does, and
Yeah.
he'll be unapologetically like himself and just say whatever the hell he has on his mind, in
Oh,
spite of it very likely like causing a lot of controversy and things of that sort.
he
So
be
it's
saying
like,
some shit.
yeah. But it's kind of funny though, because like at the end of the day, and this is something that I've been thinking about lately as well, is like in spite of however bad or like terrible someone may be, or the actions that they did and the harm that they caused to other people, like there's
Yeah.
always like the understanding perspective of like, how did that person even lead to the point where they even would want to do something like that, and like
Mm-hmm.
what was their whole mental health, and how did they grow up, and were they under
Mm-hmm.
the influence of particular drugs and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll always try to find I'll try to understand the perspective, because otherwise I'll find myself actually judging the person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
There goes my
again, like,
fucking camera. Fucking.
nah, you're good, bro.
Dude, I literally like I'm clicking on it. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
I'm clicking the fuck out of that shit. Nah, but I feel you though.
But it's
I
like
feel you. I feel
even
you.
judgment itself, like you can't judge judgment. Like it's this crazy thing where everything just is what it is.
Complication. It's complicated.
Yeah, I mean there is no right or wrong, and like that's the thing with me too. Is
But
like,
there's morals. But there's morals. Like there more like I think that's why people like cancel culture is such a big thing because of morals, and essentially like it's good that we have that, it's also it's really good that cancel culture became a thing, but it's also kind of toxic for for some people that like don't know how to use that, be in that culture, and like they think everyone's canceled for doing any damn thing,
yeah.
like it's like, oh dude, why did you jaywalk? You're canceled. Fuck, dude, you're a bad person. Fuck, like, wow, did you just say that fucking word? Did you just say fuck? What the fuck? You're a bad person, dude. Oh my god, you're canceled. Don't fucking talk to me. It's like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
or
it's strange because it's like because like, you think about the internet and you think about United States as like this free place, but then I guess the social media platforms, like they're like a private entity, a private company. So then
yes,
like the controversy is like, should the internet, should Twitter and Instagram have the ability to be able to purposely take someone's content down, or should it all be allowed
yeah,
to be online because this is like a free country, you know?
yeah,
How do you feel
yeah.
about that?
I mean, if I feel like if it's kind of like really bad, like if it's like unnecessary, like if it's like illegal, whatever they have on there is like illegal. Is essentially it is free country. It is whatever, and I guess Twitter and Instagram and all that shit. They do have guidelines to like what you can post. So if like they could get shit taken down because of like the guidelines.
Okay.
But also like man, there's Tumblr and like people have cultures for everything. And like there's a culture for everything. There's crazy shit going on everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like OnlyFans, you know? I don't have anything bad to say about that. Like I feel like it's good that women are doing that, and you know, so are men, but it's mainly like it's common, you know, in women. But I feel like I, even though I might not be like, oh, like super like, yeah, you know, you do your thing, you know, but it's good that they're doing it because women have been treated very bad and like, you know, in history they've been treated bad. So we should let them express, we should let them like use any way they can to make money because we literally did not let them work, bro. Like in history, like if you look at like in US history first started, like women were treated bad. So it's like, you know, in a way it's like we should let them do it, and like, you know, like I don't shame them, you know. It's your body, you use it however way you can, you know.
You said we should let women do what?
We should let women like express themselves and just do that because it's like, you know, how can I tell like somebody like, hey, don't sell don't sell your pictures or this and that, or like this and, or like don't sell your content, like what the fuck. It's what they want to do to make money, like, you know. I
Yeah.
can't tell you that, you know, it's your life, I can't tell you that, but it's like it's good that it's happening and it's being so normalized now because it's a real thing, you know? It's a real thing. Like, for example, like being in Pomona, like you see hookers everywhere. Like it's
Yeah.
so normalized that we see it all the time. Oh look, there's a hooker, and it's real, you know? It's real. Like it's real shit.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, unless you've been a hooker and unless you've been around
Yeah.
someone who's lived that lifestyle, like you don't
Shit. Have
even.
you been a hooker?
No, I haven't. But I actually met a homeless guy who was good friends with a hooker, or at least I think that's what he said she was.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's like everyone does their thing, and like who knows how they feel about it. Like
Yeah.
like unless you've been in those shoes and had a conversation, like a deep conversation regarding someone being a hooker, anything, you know, even all of these things that are taboo and or whatever. Like
Yeah.
who knows what the lifestyle is like. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
pros and cons to it, just like any fucking thing you do
Just
in
like
life.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes down, I don't know, like, you know, are you causing harm to somebody else? You know? Like
Yeah.
if you're just being a service and people just so happen to enjoy your service and you're not harming anybody, you're not forcefully doing anything, then
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's just kind of it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's a service. It is a service, you know. We're choosing to pay for it, you know. So we
Yeah.
can't do anything about it because, well, we pay for this. Like, you know, like I'm
It's
giving you.
mutual.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, no, I don't know, but it does, like, I guess there's pros and cons. I guess there's complications. You just gotta be on the down low, you know, about like your family. You know, you don't want your family to find that, right? I guess that's just one thing about, like, I'm like, fuck, dude, you got to be careful, you know? It's like, okay, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least for me, I wouldn't do it just because I don't, you know, I don't want my personal thing to be like that, you know? I don't feel comfortable doing it, mainly. That's
To
probably
what?
why,
To
you
be a
know?
hooker?
I mean, I guess, no, to have like an OnlyFans, I don't feel like comfortable doing it, I guess, you know? I wouldn't, at least right now.
You
Like,
said
it's such a,
to have a what?
to have an OnlyFans.
What is that?
Oh, like you don't know what that is,
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Like we got on this talk, and then I feel like I missed like a part of it at the start, but I didn't want
bro?
to cut you off.
Okay,
You said
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
Yeah, OnlyFans,
What
bro.
is that?
It's like, okay, well, essentially, it's like a cam girl type thing, but it's like people selling, like, you know, it's like porn stuff, you know,
Okay.
in a way. It's a sex workers, but this is legal. It's totally legal. You know, you go through the whole thing. You make a profile. It's all, you know. It's to avoid, you got to avoid the child pornography thing because like it's, you know, it's super fucking, it's sketchy, you know, because there's definitely a lot of like minors out there that are out there, you know. So it has to be super like strict, and has to be because, you know, like if there happens to someone finds a way to lie about their age and is doing that, like it's fucked, you know, like.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's just people selling videos, pictures, and all that stuff, you know.
Do they
So it's,
also do live?
I'm not sure. I think they do, but OnlyFans has like their own website and like their own app and their whatever, you know. And everyone who you choose to subscribe, which means there's like a monthly thing, and everyone does their thing, you know. So it's like it's interesting, you know. And it's like, for one thing, it's good that, you know, like I said, women were treated really bad in history. So like, how can we shame them for like using what they have, who they are, to like produce money? You know, it's a service, and we're paying for it.
Okay. So it's
You
all
know?
completely virtual then?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. See,
yeah.
now everything we're talking about, I'm like, okay, now it comes full
Now,
picture because I didn't know we were
yeah,
talking about a particular app and shit, but now
yeah,
it makes sense. Okay.
yeah. So it's all like, it's super, man. I have so many people that I know that have it. You know, it's such a, it's at first, you know, like, I think last year was when like I was exposed to it.
Okay.
At first, it's kind of like, huh, dude, what? You have your stuff out there like that? But then again, it's like you go into the whole thing. It's like, well, you got to do what you got to do, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the way you're choosing to do it. And I respect your way of doing it. You know, you can't really tell anybody that. You know, it's like, how can someone tell me, hey, I really don't want to see you like uh playing your guitar like that, but I respect you for that and making your money or whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
like, I really don't want to see you like fixing that car, but I respect it, you know. Like, I really don't like that. I wouldn't do it, but I respect it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's finding the respect thing, you know, in it, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, I think ultimately what's important is like the intent and like the kind of,
The intent.
like, you know, what's your intentions behind what you're doing? Like, you know, like you
Mhm.
said, it could just be an opportunity and you just so happen to be a good fit for whatever it happens to be.
Mhm.
And like you're doing it for a positive intent, like you're providing the service and you happen to be good at it, you enjoy it, you make
Yeah.
somebody else happy, and then you get
Yeah.
to have some money to get yourself some food and provide for your family or do whatever,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like you could have 100 people doing the same exact thing,
Mhm.
and you could
Mhm.
have 10 people who absolutely love it, they're super
Mhm.
passionate about it, their intent is positive and with love, and then you can have people who don't really like it, but they're good at it. So then they just
Mhm.
do it, but they're not that happy doing it. And then you can have people
Yes.
who are doing it, but maybe with a negative intent to like manipulate
Yeah.
somebody and do this and
Mm.
that. But they're
Mm.
only doing those negative things probably because they're just mentally fucked up, you know?
Yeah, true.
So it's just
True.
like there's so many different perspectives out there. It's like no matter what you're doing, it's like what's your intent behind what you're doing?
Your
You know what I'm
intent.
saying?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I guess it's like, it's so fitting now because, you know, it's so fitting this year too. I think it became such a huge thing this year too because everyone's, you know, like,
Inside.
a lot of people lost their jobs, and how are
Yeah.
they going to be able to do things like virtual? We can't like be out there. We can't, you know, certain people couldn't do that. So it's like, you resort to that and it works for them, you know. If
Yeah.
it works for you, do that, and it helps people pay their rent, it helps people pay their bills, like, you know, it's a way, it's real life, you know. I
Yeah.
guess like it's taboo, but it's also real life because it's not taboo. Like, excuse me, pardon me, but we've all watched porn in our lives, so like, you know, like, it's a big thing. It's like a thing that is like, it's so taboo and it's so weird and we don't want to talk about it, but at the same time it's very real, you know, and it's out there, and, you know,
Like, dude, you have to consider, like, from the understanding perspective, is like, why do people watch porn? Why do people enjoy porn?
why.
Like, ultimately, you have to consider the fact that yes, we're humans and we're sophisticated and we have morals and all that, but we're also
But
animals.
we're
You know what I'm
also
saying?
animals,
Like, I'm
yeah.
being legitimately like, if you don't
Yeah.
actually just embrace the fact that you are an animal and you have particular needs, and you have needs. Like as an animal, you have to get some
Facts.
rest. As an animal, you have to eat. As an animal, you're designed to reproduce. Now,
Yes.
what type of animal are you? There's particular people who probably have more of a particular hormone that inspires them to maybe crave more of one thing than another person. But
Uh-huh.
everybody
Yeah.
has certain necessities. And if you don't channel those necessities in a particular way, it's just going
Mm-hmm.
to manifest into, your mental health is going to get fucked up. Your physical health is going to
Mm.
get fucked up. Like
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, you need to embrace all these different elements of yourself as a human. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what's a part of being like a fucking healthy, happy human, is
Yes.
embracing these things, not running away from them. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck you're doing, and all you have to do is just kind of dabble and fucking find out, you know?
True. True.
Like that's why it's just like, dude, like morals and all that, it's like great, but ultimately we're still fucking animals, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird because we have to like in a way we have to kind of separate that from like a lot of like things around us. We separate it from like it's so easy to be, of course we're animals, but we're so like how life is, we're like structured socially. We have to like sexual harassment is a thing, a lot of shit like that, so you got to be careful,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that's the thing about it, like there's a lot of complications. Of course we're animals, like it's our natural thing, but there's consequences with a lot of things, and you got to be careful, like it's like that's why it's a good that it's like it's normalized now, and it's like becoming a thing, and it's like it took me a while to like grow on the whole like OnlyFans. Oh, what? A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people that I know are doing it.
Yeah.
Fuck, like yeah, I'm gonna respect that because it's your way of doing it, and I have to channel in myself, like inner me. This is reality, and I have to make sure like that anything that I'm doing, like I have friends that have it, and I'm like, okay, I can't see you any differently. Why am I gonna see you differently? Like
Yeah.
it's reality.
Yeah. And
Like
maybe in some ways you could even be like, I personally, like, I'll get inspired by people being vulnerable to the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like, in spite of like the way in which it's done, like, I think being vulnerable and honest to the
Vulnerable.
world, like, that takes a lot of courage. And so in
It
spite of it
does.
being you, being just like pleasuring other people or whatever, like whatever it is, like
Mm-hmm.
so long as the intent is good, and like if you're making yourself vulnerable in some shape or form, like that shit could be inspiring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
very
I'm
very inspiring.
inspired, bro. Like I'm not kidding, bro. Like I'll be
Me
inspired by
too.
anything. Like
Me
if
too.
I see you just being courageous and being yourself and doing the weirdest fucking shit, like I'll be inspired.
Hey, I feel you. I feel you on that, because man, I definitely I be doing some crazy, like I'm very extroverted, and like when people know me out there like that, they know like. But one thing that I've realized, like we can't. There's so many people that I've seen that I'm like, they're doing crazy shit that I don't, I might not do.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've trained myself to learn, you got to learn, you got to train yourself and be educated about, realize that I can't tell anybody, like, why am I going to judge that person? I don't know what the struggles they've been through. I don't know what they've been through to come, they probably weren't comfortable enough to be out and, in public and be themselves, like, how can I judge a person like that? I don't know. That's why, like, I'm so, like, I don't judge people. And like, I've been judged a lot, but it took me a while for me to even be comfortable, like even making music. It took me like a long fucking time. And like that way you can't, you just can't judge people now, like like there's so much things that I do, like in your privacy, like, yeah, of course, we want to be out, especially right now. We want to be out a lot, but we can't really, but I guess as much as, even when the pandemic wasn't a thing, like as much as I was out, I was also in a lot, because I'm like, we have to enjoy our own presence too, like
Yeah.
enjoy ourselves, it's like, am I gonna be out all the time because I'm an extrovert and it's like how I'm built, or am I just gonna go out because I feel like I need something from something else rather than me like having to fix it myself in my own privacy and enjoy myself, like
Yeah.
then that's what I'm trying to do now. Like I'm trying to enjoy like in this whole pandemic thing, I'm like, how am I gonna enjoy my presence? How am I gonna feel at peace with myself?
Yeah. What's I don't know, you just say as much as you want to say, but what's been like or like what's been part of the learning, what have you learned about yourself through the process of like finding peace within yourself, and then obviously nowadays spending probably way more time with yourself, like what have you
hmm
learned about yourself, and what's part of that process been like?
Um, I guess like one thing, like I was just saying, like not being judgmental and not judging myself so much, like, and not comparing myself so much, because like everyone's different, but everyone's like we're all insecure in one way or another, I have a lot of insecurities, but one thing is not wearing them with you all the time, not wearing them with you. Of course we have them, but like it's normal, it's normal. We're just human, because and the mind has come such a long way that we can't connect it too much like that, just be you and unapologetically,
Yeah.
don't like, be like I am being like vulnerable with myself, like I'm being like I'm trying to be honest with myself. I'm like, huh, why did I gain weight? Because I ate all this food. It's like it's okay to eat food, and it's okay to like, but it's also not okay to not try and do better, and feel better for myself, and like, and it's like training, I was just training myself and like realizing and talking to myself. I talk to myself a lot, dude. Like that's one thing that like it's not weird. Like if you see me walking one day and I'm talking to myself, because I like I disconnect from like social, and I'm so in my bubble that I'm like, oh fuck, I forget people are looking at me. But that's one thing, like we should we should forget that people are looking at us and realize like, dude, if I'm talking to myself, so what? Like, I'm like coaching myself, like to
Yeah.
do better in life. Like I'm coaching myself. Like I'm, my own life coach. Like I'm here to fucking do this for myself and the people around me, and like, like, but that's definitely I've been trying to like coach myself a lot, be my own inspiration, try to inspire myself, and like self-love, I guess, it's hard,
Yeah.
but it's hard, but
Bro, like everything you just said, like I in a lot of ways I could relate with you, dude, because I'll be honest, and I've said this to some people too, like I talk to myself all the fucking time. I mean,
mhm,
I'll wake up, now I'm living with my mom, and it's
mhm,
just me and my mom in this house, and she goes to work around 8 or 9,
yeah,
and a lot of times I'll be waking up a little bit after that, like at 10. So when I
yeah,
wake up, like I'm legit in this house by myself. And
yeah.
so I'll just talk to myself. I'll fucking sing. Sometimes I'll scream, and sometimes I'll, you know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah,
Sometimes I'll just fucking walk around the house naked, and sometimes
hell yeah.
I'll go in the backyard. I'll be naked, and I drink some fucking water, and I fucking soak up the sun, and I sit
That's
in the
art.
grass.
That's art.
Yeah, bro. It's like you gotta, like, I'm just like, when I'm by myself, it's like I really take the time to like love myself, just like you were saying,
Mhm,
like talking to yourself, and because I think it's odd, but ultimately, like, you are a person. And
mhm.
like, yes, it seems strange to talk to yourself because you're like, why are you talking to yourself like you are yourself? But there's
Yes.
parts of your mind that has been influenced by a lot of people around you. Like, your
Mhm.
mind is very much influenced by the lifestyle that you had growing up. The shit that your
Yeah.
parents would tell you, the shit that your cousins would tell you, like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
fucking shit that you would watch on TV, like all this culture and all these ideas, what's right, what's wrong. So it's like when you're by
Facts.
yourself,
Facts.
you get to hear these voices that just like spontaneously and sporadically come out to your head. And
Yeah.
like you have the opportunity to like not judge those thoughts and realize that those thoughts aren't actually you, but they're just like shit that's been manifesting inside of you. And
Mm.
like maybe it's from trauma, maybe it's from, you know,
Mm-hmm.
particular instances where you really blamed yourself and other people blamed you and told you that you were fucking shit or told you this and that. And it's
Yes.
like, but then you realize that like those are just thoughts. Like
They
when those
are.
when those thoughts all kind of fade and you're able to find like a peace of mind, whether that's because you're going for a workout or you're just fully immersed in like you washing dishes, you know, and like you really get
Mm-hmm.
in the zone of that shit. And once your
Mm-hmm.
mind like completely clears out, like it's just like fuck, dude. Like the only truth is like these feelings that I have right at my fingertips, like feeling the cool from the
Mm.
water and
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
feeling myself being erect and like feeling my core
Mm-hmm.
holding myself up and like
Mm-hmm.
and dude, like, why is it that you even
Mm-hmm.
judge yourself? Like, you're judging
Yeah.
yourself because you want to be a good person, because you know that you're a good person.
Yeah.
So,
But it's
like, you know what I'm
like,
saying?
it's almost like do your things in your own personal space where it doesn't affect other people, I guess, you know? But it's like we want to be good people, but like then again, don't live for like other people, you know? Like we don't like
Exactly.
are we going to be better people for everyone just so like, hey, look, I'm a good person. Look at me, you know? It's like I'm a good like I what's like the like I don't know what's the thing. Like I want to see who has a book where it says this is what a good person is. Like it's morals, and we got morals, you know, like the moral stuff in life, you know, but it's like just be you, like, you know, like and if people think like, oh yeah, you are a good person, then so be it. If they don't, that's their deal, you know, like they're seeing things, they see things in such a judgmental way. They're just judging, you know, like that because there's a lot of things that definitely a lot of people have like at first they didn't like me. They just thought I was like stupid and crazy and just, you know, because I would just go to shows a lot and I would just I would just be crazy, you know. I would just run around like everyone was like moshing, everyone was doing crazy stuff. I was doing stupid dances. I was just stupid. I was enjoying escaping from, you know, the reality and struggles of life and just trying to fucking vibe, you know. And that's why I don't like judge people, because I've been judged so much that I wouldn't want someone to feel that, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, yeah, dude, I hate people who like judge others for like doing. I'm like, dude, like, please, like, I'm gonna nicely educate you, because you need to, you know, before we get angry at somebody, we need to educate them because they need to realize. And after they get educated, then they become better people. You know, like that's something that now cancel culture. It's a good thing that it is, but it's also like I you know, like I've said some words in the past that weren't the most suitable now, but I became educated as time and I became a better person, and now, you know, this it just works, you know. We become educated as people over time. Fucking history has taught us so much fucking things, you know. Like we have become better people over time, I think. Our morals, you know, like because history, we can tell, you know. It's like we haven't grown. Of course we have. Look at fucking life. Look at what Hitler did. He's a fucking terrible person. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But sorry, I like go way off like track. But
Nah,
it's
dude,
just
I
like,
fucking love it. I'm on your train, bro. So
yeah, I'm just trying to connect it all together, you know, like it's all just connecting it together. But yeah, yeah, it's all just a big fucking thing. Like,
yeah, you can still see me, right?
yeah,
Okay, my
dude,
bad. I don't.
I literally will send you a picture right now of like my screen, and
Nah,
it just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck?
don't trip about it, dude.
No, I'm tripping, bro. No, I'm tripping because I'm trying to, you know.
I want people to
But
see my dumb face.
yeah, I mean, like, want to see my expression. Like, come on, bro.
Dude,
Damn.
someone was just fucking calling me as a scam likely thing.
Fuck. Hey, it's funny. It's funny because like when they call me, like, or like when I see that, I don't do it all the time, but sometimes like I answer and I'm like, "Hello, scam likely, what's up?" And I'm just like, "Scam likely," and they're like, and then I don't know, and then I hang up. But it's funny because like, bro, I'm just saying, scam likely's calling me. I'm gonna say, "What's up?" Like,
And what do they usually say back to you?
I don't know. It's just like some like freaking. It's usually just a freaking
Oh,
Some
automated like
company,
machine
yeah, a
shit.
company or something. It's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
All right. I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, you are.
All right,
I'm
I'll be
gonna
right
stretch. All right.
back. Big booty bitches, man. No, I was
Just that was a nice fucking piss.
kidding.
I'm still trying to make this shit work, but nothing
Nah,
like
don't trip, bro.
looking around, nothing. It just comes up like I don't know where it says, "Oh, start," because my screen right now says, "Oh, obviously it has a start video," but it has like a whole line across it, and then it doesn't have an option for me to like start it. I don't know why. Like my shit's not broken. Like the fuck.
Hmm.
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 Hmm. It is.
Hmm.
It is what it is, though.
Just make a whole fucking little song like that. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm. Just like hmm. 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 Imagine down.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're creating the beat. All right, all right. I got you. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna hit the freestyle. Feeling real good with my boy Jared. We,
That's me. That's my name.
dude, I was like legit just like a couple hours before we started this. My dad bought me an acoustic, and then he's like, "Yo, I got you an acoustic because I remember you telling me that."
Today?
No, this was like a month and a half ago. And then he's like, "Yeah, you told
Damn.
me you wanted to start playing the acoustic." So I was like, "Ah, sick." And he's like, "Yeah, I got you one." He's like, "Oh, but you're gonna have to give me the money. Like, you're gonna have to give me
Uh,
the money that I
uh,
used to buy it."
what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, "This motherfucker!" Like, he bought me like it's a pretty dope guitar. It's like a Yamaha G230 or some shit like that.
Yamaha,
Uh,
dude. Yamaha guitars are fucking sick.
Yeah, the
They're
only thing
good.
is when I got it, and you tell me you know more about guitars and stuff, but the neck of the
Yeah.
guitar, it's straight, and the strings seem like a little bit far from the neck. Because I know my
Okay.
friend Anthony was telling me that the strings should be super close to the neck of it, so then you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to put that much tension going down.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you could fix that with a lot of like. That's the thing. Like, I guess it's just preference at that point. You know, like we choose to have. It's our instrument. We play it the way we want to play it. So if like we feel comfortable playing it a certain way, then so be it. You know, like
Are acoustic is the neck of an acoustic supposed to be more like downward angled so that way the strings are more close attached, or are there certain acoustics that are supposed to be just a straight neck?
uh, I mean, they're usually they usually should be straight. I mean, like
Okay,
yeah, but I mean, all guitars should be. They're all
little
different. You know, they're
different.
all built. You know, they all are built differently to have their sound.
Yeah.
Their because like I like Yamahas. Like they sound really good.
And it's kind of coincidental because the piano I have is a Yamaha too. So I'm like, okay, like now
Hey,
I just got Yamaha. So
Yamaha good. They got good shit. They don't have cars, but they have a fucking motorcycles, right?
motorcycles, I think they have
That's
jet
sick.
skis too and shit like
What?
that.
Why the fuck do they not have cars? Like,
I don't
like
know.
damn,
They should.
they should a Yamaha car. Fuck,
That'd be kind of hard, huh? Like, damn, I got a Yamaha piano, acoustic guitar,
fuck,
and a fucking car.
a
Like,
fucking car. That shit would probably be expensive though.
nah, dude, that shit's in. Was Yamaha Japanese, Chinese?
I think it's Japanese. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it is Japanese. I think.
You
You
looked
know
it up?
what? Yeah,
I'll
I think
fucking Google that shit right now.
it is. I think it is. Yeah, it should be Japanese. If
Let's
it's not,
see. I'm gonna Google it.
what's
Where
up? What's up?
is? Yeah, dude. Like honestly, dude. Like for a while, I was like I was trying to make this podcast good, and I was like
Mm-hmm.
trying at it. But then I'm like, bro, I kind of lose the fun in that process of like trying to structure it and trying to like I don't know. I'm just like I don't
It's
at this point. I'm like I really don't like. I'm just this project's for me. Like if people
yeah.
consume it and if there's gonna be people who listen to it consistently, like it just so happens to be that way. But I'm not gonna try to
Mm-hmm.
please anybody because I have to have fun with the process.
Exactly. It's like, man, I feel you because that's definitely what I've been trying to do, like making music myself. I've been trying to like, um, I don't force it anymore, you know. I don't force it as much as like it'll come out when it'll come out, you know. If I'm not, it's right here. I have it with me all the time, you know. Like I have everything recorded and I do it all myself. But like it's like, am I gonna like it won't feel right, you know, if I'm like if I'm forcing it like constantly, if it has to be a certain way, like it doesn't have to be like there's no rules to it, you know. You make it the way you do, you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes us gives us it gives us personality, it gives us character, like it's who we are, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just strange because like let's say someone like Joe Rogan, right? He has this podcast. He literally makes fucking like he makes 20, $30,000 like every fucking podcast from my knowledge. And so
Yeah.
he's legitimately made this thing which is just he started off as just being fun and
Hmm.
it's and now it's like the thing he monetizes off the most, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's done it from a place of like I'm gonna have fun and I'm not gonna have people telling me what to talk about or have limitations.
Yeah.
And now it's like the number one podcast in the probably the whole world.
I still haven't. I I need to get into it. I've heard about it and I need to get into it. Like that's something that podcasts is something that I need to get into now. Cause like I've heard all my friends are into them. Like,
Into
you know,
podcasting.
yeah. Well, they're
Okay.
into like listening to them, you know, like
Yeah.
just being because it's different. It's different from listening to music. Like if you're listening to music, but it's different from like you just hear it's informative, you know. It's very informative. A lot of like different things come from what you don't see in interviews, what you don't see in like books, where you don't whatever, you know. It's like it's right there and then, you know. It's like full on just fucking you.
Yeah, I mean it's just like and the thing about me like legit and I know I have this podcast but I don't listen to that many podcasts. Like the
Mhm.
podcast that I'll listen to is Joe Rogan.
Joe
And
Rogan.
occasionally I'll get into Lex Fridman. You know who that is?
No idea.
This dude is he used to work at MIT, I think. And
MIT.
he has a lot of knowledge regarding artificial intelligence. And he used to
Mhm.
work at MIT, but then he dropped out of MIT or he stopped working there so that
Mhm.
he could basically pursue his dream, which is to have a startup. It's a startup company where he's hoping to create like damn it, what's the word? It's he's basically trying to create a robot that would be like a human, like a
That's scary.
yeah, it
That's scary.
sounds fucking scary, bro, but I mean, a lot of the things that we have nowadays like would be scary to a human like 200 years in the past or like 100 years in the past. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like a
Yeah.
lot of shit that we're
Yeah.
doing nowadays would be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" to like a human like
Yeah.
100 years ago. So it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like I mean, dude, that's the thing about humans, man, is that we always want to continue advancing, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
It makes
if
sense.
we're not vibrating and if we're not moving, then we're gonna be bored. We're gonna be anxious. We have fucking energy to expend, and we happen to be
It's how we're built.
yeah, we're just built to fucking vibrate,
We're
dog. Like
just built.
that's
Yeah.
the reason people get anxious is because they have energy that they want to expend, but though
Yeah.
that
I'm
energy
very
just
anxious.
yeah, bro. Like, but anxiety is just a bunch of fucking hormones going through your body that increases the way you know, it makes you breathe a little bit faster. It increases the blood sugar going through your bloodstream. Like, anxiety is
Mm.
literally like energy that's just kind of sitting there.
Holy
And
fuck.
you just need to channel that energy into something and make the activity that you're doing intense enough to fulfill that energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why like fuck. If there's anything that like I mean, I've been singing for like ever, but like I think I didn't really start. I never took it. I was just like everybody. Like I was just like radio shit. Like I was just listening along to the radio or whatever, you know? I was
Yeah.
like everybody. Like I didn't take it serious or whatever. Like it wasn't like I am a singer. Even now, like I don't like saying that because it's like, uh, it's labels. I'm just a person who happens to do that, you know?
Yeah, you're an
I'm
artist. You're a
I'm a
human.
yeah, I'm a oh see look, now the video comes back on again. What the fuck?
Oh, there you go.
Like, yeah, so stupid. But I'm just a person who happens to sing happens to, I'm a person who happens to uh walk this way. I'm a person who happens to like this video game or whatever, like
Yep.
it's like you're this, like the label having before you're the person,
Yeah.
It's like I just like things. I like what I like, like
You just are who you are. Like it's not that complex. It's not that deep. Like that's what I like to call subconscious serendipity.
mm,
That's kind of like,
mm,
because I didn't really have faith before like a year and a half ago. Like some faith that would give me a peace of mind during times of like uncertainty. Like I didn't have
mm,
anything to like kind of ground me,
mm.
but now I do, and I call it subconscious serendipity. And
Okay.
basically, it's the
Okay.
idea that like what's there's like a double perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just explained this to my brother when we hung out last week, but 99% of what it is that you're feeling and experiencing is you. Like the way that you see that painting or the way that you perceive that person is 99% just the way you feel by yourself, and you're just kind of projecting it. And
Mm-hmm.
99% of everything is up to you and how you want to see it and your responsibility.
Mm.
But then and with that perspective, it's very empowering, because then you really take it upon yourself to take care of yourself, to take responsibility for things, and to, yeah, pretty much to do that. And it's very
Mm.
empowering. But then the opposite perspective is that you're only 1% of the 99. So everything who I am right now, I say thank you, subconscious serendipity, for giving me the opportunity to have my mom and dad, for giving me the opportunity to have the home that I'm sleeping in, to give me the opportunity to
Mm.
live in California, to give me the
Mm.
opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to, to live in this particular time where we have the internet, and we have social media, and we have instruments, and we like, I didn't choose any of that. I was
Yeah.
born in 1996, and having the parents of Anna and Marion Rodriguez and having my brother, I didn't have a choice in that. I was born into the house that I'm literally here sitting here talking to you, and I didn't have a choice in that. So I call that subconscious serendipity, because
Okay.
in a lot of ways, the exact person who I am at this exact moment was 99% not even me. Like I didn't like put conscious effort to lead me to this point.
You're
Like
right.
any
You're
type of
right.
any type of self-awareness and confidence and self-love that I have has been a cultivation of maybe good morals that my dad gave me, and maybe some love that my grandma gave me, and maybe, my coaches in high school telling me something, and maybe Joe Rogan, and maybe music artists who inspire me. Like everything that I am
Yeah.
right now, it's like 99% of it is just by chance. And I put
Yeah.
that 1% effort to just channel myself to be in this, because I'm also going to embrace myself. And I'm not going to say that I wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Dude,
you get what I'm saying?
I really get what you're saying. That shit's blowing my mind right now. I'm like, fuck. That's why like I love like just being open to a lot. That's why I really want to do the songwriting thing, because like simple stuff, like I want to hear what people have to say. Like everyone has like something to say that's gonna blow your mind. Like it's so easy, like because we're so stuck in our own all the time. Like it's good, it's good to be with ourselves and just enjoy ourselves. But sometimes we just need to hear certain things that can like elevate our own ways of being, because like essentially like we're I said something to a friend like a couple months ago. It was like I was on the phone with him, like I was driving, but I had my Bluetooth on and I was driving, we are just talking, and I was like we are getting so inspired. I was just like, dude, like when you have those like inspirational talks
Just
like with
going
your
hella hard.
I was driving, but I was like in it, I was like, hey bro, like damn, like we're like cell phones, bro. We just get, or like software, like we're like an iPhone. I was like, bro, we're like an iPhone. We get like we're the same thing, but we just get updated, and like we become a better version of ourselves, right? It's like version this iPhone, like it's just a better version internally. Like you become better, like
Yeah.
so it's just, and I was blowing like I was blowing his fucking mind. He was like telling me some shit, and I was like, oh shit. And like I was really like that. I was super like, hey bro, like, hey, this and shit. And, like it was crazy, dude. It was crazy. And I don't know. It's just like shit like that. I'm like,
Like just having all these revelations, like, and just
Yeah,
bouncing off of somebody.
yeah. I was fuck yeah. That's why I'm just like super. I I don't know. Like there's days where I'm like really quiet and I don't say anything because I listen. Like it's good to like. I've gotten better at listening to people a lot more now. You know, because
Yeah.
I before I would talk a lot and I would just talk a lot, but just naturally me, I just talk a lot, you know. But I think I've gotten better at listening to people for sure, you know, like
Yeah.
really listening. Like,
And that it's a real art form to even just be able to listen.
yeah,
No, because if I was sitting here and I had a lot of expectations for this podcast and like there's like a billion people watching and like we had a particular theme that we had to sustain, if it was talking about happiness and health and talking about like I'd probably be anxious and I'd probably be fucking you'd be talking, but then part of my mind would be trying to calculate what's the next question I should ask you. But like
you're just flowing with
but
it.
yeah, now that I have no expectation for the podcast, it's like I can genuinely just be invested in the conversation. I could fucking use my hands and fucking, raise my voice and fucking chill and then just listen. I can do
Yeah.
that because I'm not concerned about the future. I'm fully invested in what is right now. And it's like,
Mm,
I'm telling you, bro, I've had podcasts where like it's a dope like fucking podcast and the person who's on is amazing. But I was
yeah.
just thinking about what's the next thing I'm gonna ask. And I'm trying to calculate all these different things. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, your supercomputer calculates at speeds you can't even comprehend. So like
Yeah.
as long as I don't even try and I just have fun with it, like this fucking computer is gonna do it for me, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
You
He said this fucking
know?
computer. No, I feel you. See, like, man, recently I don't force the music that I make now. Like this is all the music I've made before is like, it's very like radio sounding stuff or like
Yeah.
very catchy stuff. And it's still catchy, but it's like I guess now since I told myself I'm like I invested in all these like studio equipment things. I got pretty like decent good monitors. I got a decent mic. I got like a decent interface. Like everything that I have, because I just went from like making demos on my phone. Like I would be
Yeah.
on GarageBand just record stuff on there and like going from that to like a whole ass fucking like home studio. I'm like oh shit, I got everything now, and like I feel so good. I feel so like I finally feel creatively free for the first time ever in my life, and I'm like, holy fuck, I can literally do anything I fucking want, like anything, There's no rules, there's no rules to it.
Do you how
But
do you how do you feel that the new equipment helped you in feeling even more free? Like what was like how does that?
I don't know. I don't know. I just get excited talking about it because like I'm like there's like of course it's like oh dude like there's a lot of people just be like yeah dude I like make music and shit like, I'm a producer yeah dude I'm an artist I'm a rapper like
Like I made the
it's
beat for the
just
homie over
yeah,
there.
yeah like I'm like I just feel like blessed and happy to even be able to do any of this because I know a lot of people don't. It takes them a long time to even get anything so like I'm just I'm realizing what I have, and like I'm grateful for everything that I have. And it took me realizing your growth, like it took me a long time to get here, but I am proud of myself and I am going to be happy with it. And just, I am here for anybody. Like I'm going to share this with a lot of people, I'm going to share everything that I have, like anything, So it's like, that's where I come from, at least, like there's people who have been having everything like all their lives. So like, it's 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 just their way, their reality, my reality is different, so that's why like I don't like judging people because I've been judged so much that I'm like I don't want anybody, I don't want anyone else to feel that, like
Yeah.
it sucks,
Well,
so I don't want
especially like that's the thing about judging and bullying and things like that, which is
mm-hmm,
so which is so bad for lack of a better word. I don't really like to use that, but
mm-hmm,
bullying and judging is so bad because a lot of times the people who are being bullied are already insecure and their mental health,
Yeah.
you know, their self-esteem is already low. So it's,
Mhm.
I make this comparison really often because the more I get in tune with my mind and body, I realize how similar it is. But it's
Mhm.
like bullying somebody who already has a low self-esteem is like taking somebody who has like a broken leg or a broken arm and then just fucking beating the shit out of them when they're already at a huge
Fuck.
disadvantage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if
Fuck.
your mental health is
Yeah.
not good, like fucking beating it up is literally just
Fuck.
like it's like it's really terrible. So that's why I make that comparison of like the
Yeah.
mind and body. So when you're not in a good place like of self-esteem, like you
Mhm.
need to take yourself away from the negativity and all the things which are hurting you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
you literally had a broken leg, would you be at the gym? Would you, if you had a broken leg, would you actually be going and like fucking doing jump roping? Like, no, you wouldn't. And it's fucking common sense. But I feel like with the mind, because it's more abstract and like nobody else can see it, but you can feel it. Like a
Mhm.
lot of times we don't think about it in that way. Like, yo, my mental health isn't that good. Maybe I should, you know, spend a little less time with so and so people because I fucking feel more shitty by the time I come out of that shit.
Mhm.
You know,
And
that's
it's like, I feel you on that. Man, earlier this year, I was going through it earlier this year. Like I remember like I would always be that super enthusiastic. Like I didn't really show like not my weaknesses, but like I didn't really show when I was like sad or like I wasn't really like I was always like everyone thought I was always happy, but it's a mask that we put on sometimes to do better, you know, to feel better. But remember like it was like early in January and I had like the worst day like at work or something, like the worst day I've had in like a year or something. And then we had a group chat with like a bunch of friends and like it was like 12 of us in there. I like texted the chat. I never do that. I never talk about like, oh, I'm sad or like, you know. So it was just like a big deal to me, and I was just like, I was like, guys, I've had the worst day I've had in a very long time. I'm having a really bad day. I'm like sad, you know, and like 7 people saw it in the chat. These are like, keep in mind, these are some of my best friends, and like 7 people saw it. No one said anything. And I left the chat. I was mad, dude. And I was just going through. I was pissed. I was like, man, what the fuck? Like every time, like I'm here for you guys. Like every fucking time you guys feel some sort of way, and like that's just who I am. But like, and like whenever I never talk about how I feel sad or anything or like me what I'm going through. But like, dude, I have fucking feelings, and like I just felt like bad, and like I had to tell them, you know, I had to tell them after like I cooled down. I was like, man, I just felt bad, you know. I felt like you guys didn't care about me, you know. I felt bad, and like then that changed their whole perspective on me. They're like, oh, and then it changed their way they viewed me, you know, because it's like they just viewed me as this like character, you know, like a
mm-hmm.
character that I was just like that I played, but it was literally just me when I'm with friends and I'm just having fun, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta realize we all got feelings, we all got, you know, and but it's fine, you know. Like I isolated myself a lot, but me isolating made me like I channeled that energy. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, oh, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna understand why I feel this way, and then I just made a shitload of music. Like I just made so much fucking music, like, and like sometimes that's why I like I'm either very present if I'm out in public and I'm there, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be present there. If I am by myself, I am be by myself, strictly by myself. Someone calls me, is like, "Hey, bro, you want to hang out?" No, man, sorry, I got stuff to do. And when I say stuff to do, with myself, like you know, like
Yeah.
it's like I really have nothing to do, but I have stuff to do with myself. Like, I got to work on myself. I got to do me, you know, like, and it's like that's the only way I can possibly say like, "Fuck, I'm not busy, but like." Kind of don't want to hang out with anybody. You just don't sometimes, you know. It's not
Yeah.
nothing against anybody.
It's
You just
nothing
don't.
personal.
You know, like sometimes you just don't want to do it, and it's normal. You know, it's just life. Like you know,
I
you
feel
just
like
gotta
that,
understand
like
that.
just being able to say no and like having, I guess, boundaries or whatever you want to call it, or just telling people like what you're gonna do and not have to like feel guilty about it or feel bad about it. Like
Hmm.
that shit's probably one of the most empowering things ever because it gives you this emotional stability, like, because that's like something that like recently I've been gaining with like my parents. It's like there's particular things with my parents, or who are basically the people I'm closest to and maybe have the most amount of love with. But it's like I'm being fucking real with them too, and it's hella empowering. And although you might go through those moments of like it feels strange and you feel maybe even kind of bad, like, but you feel like good. And I think both of you have a learning experience, because then your parents or whoever it is, like, they realize like, oh shit, like this motherfucker is gonna really do what they want. And I have to respect that, because they're they're sturdy with what they want.
No, I feel you.
So
I
I
feel
feel
you
like
on
that's
that.
empowering.
It's very empowering. I just think it's like say if like even like I have to say this to like my best friends or like people that like you gotta it's good you gotta communicate, you gotta just be transparent, don't hide anything. If you feel that, you feel that, and it's normal. It's okay to not want to hang out sometimes. It's
Yeah.
okay to just want to hang out. It's okay to just be by yourself and watch a movie and be by yourself, and it's okay to just eat food by yourself. Like people think like, look at that loner over there. What if I want to be alone? Sometimes
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what if I want to be alone? Like I guess like that's what I'm like trying to figure out. Like this year I was, like earlier this year when pandemic wasn't a thing, I was everywhere, but I mean on the weekends at least, like Friday nights, uh and Saturday and Sunday sometimes not really. Sundays were kind of just a chill day, family. But yeah, and then but most of the time I was just working, doing shit, like I was really like on it, like I was trying to do stuff, and there's so much planned this year and it got ruined, you know like everything was ruined. I was like, fuck, but it's how we grow.
Yeah.
It's
I know you're
growth.
talking, when you said you're planning stuff, was it like regarding music and stuff you're talking about, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of music stuff, a lot of just like life stuff too, but like a lot of music stuff, because essentially like I was waiting to play shows, and like like I was just gonna have so many shows, because I knew I've done a lot of shows in my college and stuff and anything like that, but I wanted to play like my songs and stuff that I did, and I've never had the opportunity to really do that. Like people just see me like, oh, you write music, right? And like, yeah, and like I want to play show, and like now when I'm about to, I'm like working on like an album, I guess. Like it's almost done. I'm not forcing it. I could be done tomorrow out of nowhere. I could be done in like 2 months, but who fucking knows? Like it's all just depends if that feels right, if I'm like
Yeah.
feeling right that day. But like that's why next year, hopefully COVID is done and I'll finally be able to fully like express what I have, like fully like sing my heart out live or do whatever the fuck I want, because I just want to play shows, like, you know,
Yeah.
like I've been wanting to, like, yeah, dude, I do all this stuff, like anything I do in my beats, I did, I played the bass on everything, I did everything myself. Like I just want to like have a band with me and like do that I want to have like a full like atmosphere. Like I have visions. I just want to do it like ASAP. Like I just want to do ASAP.
So it just so happens that when you were hoping these visions to come to fruition, that COVID happened, and it's
Yes.
literally, dude, like,
Yes. Dude, I was so bummed. I was like, fuck. I was like, dude, right when I got my freaking beautiful guitar, right when I got like all this crazy stuff to like be able to like do this, like now this happens, like wow. Like right when I start making the best music of my, I haven't even made the quote unquote best music of my life yet. I
oh
haven't.
nah.
It's crazy though. It's crazy to think that
Well,
we
it's the
haven't.
improvement. That's the thing. There's never
Yeah.
gonna be like, I feel like there's never really. I mean, maybe you could say there's a best moment or whatever, but like after you fucking die, at that point, people can go through your catalog. But
Yeah.
like ultimately, it's always like a changing, evolutionizing. Like you're always evolving as a person. So
Yeah.
it's like,
That that's why like when people like listen to certain rappers or like bands or artists, like of course that band has their sound, but they also grow and become different. So you can't say like, oh, you guys change. Well, how do you expect me to be the same person I was last year or the same
Yeah.
person I was 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I'm a different age. I've experienced different things, so I'm gonna be different. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it's
and
normal.
naturally as a human, like you need, like I said, I feel like the fun in the process of whatever you do, like it has to be prioritized, because otherwise the quality of the content, like it's not gonna be there. Like it could be, because I think there is
Hmm.
a lot of music artists who produce like music that's consumed by the masses, but the
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
wasn't really like loving the process. But
Hmm. Hmm.
I do think that the best of things comes when it's coming from like a real honest place.
Hmm.
I don't know, bro.
Like
That's the way I feel about it.
honesty,
Like, yeah.
honesty. You gotta be honest. Like, I try to be as honest as I can. Like, even like, oh, music is not easy. Like, recording and doing it is not fucking. It is stressful as fuck, but it's also fucking beautiful when you put it together. And like it's just you got to put the work in. I'm like, how bad do I really want to like do this? How bad do I really want to just make a beautiful piece of art? Like, how bad do I want to do this? And now that I'm like so free right now, I'm like, I can literally fucking do anything because I can,
Yeah.
and I'm doing it finally for the first fucking time in my life. And I feel like good and happy, with myself.
Dude, I'm fucking happy for you, dog. Like, I'm being serious.
Thank you, man.
Like it really makes me happy to see you like just doing your thing. And I don't even fucking know you that well.
Yeah,
Technically speaking, we don't know each other that well.
yeah.
But like,
That doesn't matter though. It's a connection. I feel it.
but like I can see it. Like when you just said that, like I can fucking feel the presence of what you're saying. And I
Yeah.
know what you're saying because I'm kind of experiencing the same thing for myself. Like the same fucking shit, dude. Like for the first
Hmm.
time in my life, because it's strange because like you can be alive, but there's that whole like thing where it's like are you alive, like are you just alive to be alive, or are you alive because you're legitimately living? Like you get what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Like dude, that's why now
yeah.
I have the mindset where it's just like I'm gonna follow my heart to the point that if that means like not, I know this has like might sound bad, but like I'll follow my heart to the point that if it feels like I'm gonna fucking die, like I'd rather go down living than actually just have an extended super long life where I don't feel like I lived. Like you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yes. I feel it. No, oh hell yeah. I feel that
Like,
for
and it's
sure.
crazy, dude, because like when you go on that shit, like sometimes like you're really on your own, dude. Like, cause like there's
You
no one
are
else to like be like, oh, like you're not always gonna have someone by your side to be like, yo, dog, like you got it.
I'm
Like
a, I'm a
sometimes,
I'm gonna show you some lyrics that
go
goes onto
ahead.
that because I literally just wrote this like, yeah, Friday. Friday.
Some
Well, I
lyrics.
said, yeah, it's like really short. It's like part of a song, but I said, like strictly to what you're saying, I said, kind of like different, but like being alone. It says, every year, it's the same damn scenario. Listen to the stereo. We're all gonna die alone. Never have expectations for the outcome. Better put the work in. You receive what you give.
Yeah, man.
So like we when people say, oh, like, oh, I don't want to die alone, we all die alone. It is literally what happens. Like, no one's gonna die with me. Like, I mean, it's the chances of that happening is like crazy, but like, it's like if I'm gonna die because I am myself. Like, you aren't gonna die with me because you're not me. Like, I am me.
Yeah,
I'm dying by myself. Like,
it's a
so
crazy thing, bro. Because
very.
ultimately, I feel, and this is just my experience, like the most beautiful of things, the most beautiful of experiences and things just kind of happen inadvertently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you are gonna have this beautiful partner that you just have this like amazing compatibility with, and like you have this super long life of just like beautiful memories and stuff, like I think it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen because you're not really trying at it and you're really embracing each other for who they are. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know because I've never really been in a relationship like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But that's the
relationships.
thing, though, dude. It's like being in a relationship. I feel like is a big responsibility because I feel that if you don't already love yourself, Like I feel like it's very difficult to be with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and like actually both be living to your full potential.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not just like kind of
Yeah.
you're crutching off of each other.
Yeah.
Like
That's bad.
trying to find what you're lacking inside the other person and having them feel
Oh
that.
fuck. Yeah, man. So look, that's how I feel about that. Like I don't feel like fuck as much as like, oh, this girl's gorgeous, dude. I want to like just like wife her up, whatever. Like
Yeah.
like I can't. I don't want. I can't. I don't feel it. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel right. Not that I don't like the person. I just don't feel right. I don't feel like I'm capable of doing that right now. I barely. I'm like I barely have enough for myself. Like how do you expect me to like pay attention to you? Like I'm paying attention to myself because I'm trying to like heal or like whatever, like so like when I see a lot of my friends, like I said, there's no rules to stuff, but then again, like I see my friends get stuck on a constant cycle of like, oh yeah, be with this person, be with that person, be with this person, be with that person, but they're not okay. They think they just are stuck in a cycle of, yeah, oh fuck, oh I'm so hurt, I need somebody to love me, oh fuck, I'm so hurt, oh this and that. I'm like, love yourself, fix yourself, and then you won't feel that ever again when you're broken up. You'll just learn to understand that it's not going to work out, and it's fine. You're going to feel like you're attached to the person, and now you're unattached from that person. You just got to detach yourself and be like, got to be okay with it. But
Yeah.
it's like fuck, man, like just learn to be by yourself. And that's what I'm starting to do now, and it feels fucking crazy. Like, feels crazy.
Dude, it's like honestly, bro, like I feel like it's probably the most challenging thing to do. Like, because before I got on this path of like just being happy and like really understanding myself, and this is like my little story. Like, I graduated, got my degree in nutrition, and like pretty good GPA, and like I
Oh
got told by
shit.
my professor like,
Teach me.
yo, like you can be a good dietitian. And like my whole idea was like graduate and like fucking get a job in dietetics, which is what I did. And then like become a
Oh
dietitian and da
shit.
da da. But then it's like, yo, like I don't even feel like really doing that right now. Like, but it's like anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that I had to let go of all these ideas and everything I quote unquote like worked on, because it's just like, yo, I
Yeah.
gotta be happy before any of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta
Yeah.
be fucking happy before I go off and try to really like commit to some shit when I don't even feel like committing to it right now.
Not right now
Like,
because you want to fulfill yourself first. Like,
yeah, it's like, I don't know, dude. Maybe when I'm 35, or maybe like in 2 years, I'll be like, yo, you know what? I do want to become a dietitian. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna get super immersed in this whole podcasting and music industry, and maybe I'm just gonna work at a restaurant for the next 3 years, and then all of a sudden, like, just keep on this path and then start making YouTube videos. Or maybe I just start like my own running club, and like I stay super low key, and I'm not even like, you know what I'm
you,
saying? Like, who
you never
fucking knows?
know.
You never
That
know, dog. But that's the excitement, is that you don't fucking know.
it's good. I like that because like fuck, like I hate living such a structured life. Like, oh, this has to be this way, or like I was the first person to go to college in my family. Like it's a big deal. But then again, it was like, do I really want to fucking be here? Fuck, dude, I
Yeah.
just did it just to fulfill like my happiness and like my parents, and but that trip was stressful as fuck and not a good one.
Yeah.
Like it was like, fuck, dude, do I really want to be here? And just like, what do I really want to do? I remember, dude, I had to argue with my mom my parents, I had to argue with them so fucking much. Like it was my senior year, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do like my entire life, but I was like, dude, I don't want to like tell them and like fuck disappoint them, and just like I would always make up like, dude, I want to be like this computer technician, fucking an architect. I want to be just like something like what, like I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be a psychologist, I'm gonna be whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
I just to lie because I didn't want to really tell them what I really wanted to do. And then once I really started fucking doing everything, I was like, well, dude, I think I really like singing. And I was just like, I like singing, I like performing. you know, but I don't want to say that. But my mom, she would go to my shows and stuff, and like, well, like theater shows and stuff, and like choir shows, and she would see me. She was like, "Wow, I'm so proud of you. You're so good, whatever, you know." But then like when I would tell her like, "Yeah, I'm gonna audition for this college," like she was like, "Why are you gonna do that? That's not real." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like you just fucking said like I was good and like you're proud of me. Like what the fuck? Like you know."
Yeah.
It was fucked up, but like I still tried to like roll with it every single day of like I would hear, "Do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. Do you not realize you're fucking great?" Like honestly, I didn't really try in like school. I almost graduated with like a almost graduated with like a 3 point something, but I could have. Imagine if I fucking tried. Imagine if I just tried, but that's not me. Like the way I did that, like the way I have to reread things so much just to understand it. It's not that I'm dumb. It's just how I am and how I learn, you
Yeah.
know? And
And it
like,
maybe doesn't interest you. Like,
fuck, man. And it just made me like think like school, like, fuck, dude, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm like, what, like, why am I not like this? But that's the fucked up. Like, school's a really good place, but it's also a very toxic place too because it makes you feel like you're not like worthy of certain things because of school stuff, you know? And it's like, that's why I fucking hated it too, you know, because it made me feel like, fuck, dude, I'm like way behind on other things, you know, like book stuff or like whatever life stuff or the life stuff was different, you know. I was just like, it just it gave me a bad impression, like on it, you know.
of
It made me,
life, kind of,
yeah, it
right?
made me feel like, fuck, dude, I am a fucking failure. I am not doing good in life. I am whatever, and it made me feel really bad about myself. And when I left school, I started just loving everything. Like I tried loving every ounce of myself. Like I've tried, you know. So like doing that, like I knew exactly what I had to do. I'm like, I gotta fucking leave this place. Like I gotta leave it and just really like own myself and you
Leave
know,
what place?
school,
Was
like
they? Are
you
you
know,
talking about college? Or are you talking about high
college,
school? Oh, okay,
college.
okay, okay.
I was like, no, I didn't drop out. I mean, I graduated and stuff, and eventually, like I did like, you know, I went to my mom. She finally accepted. She was like, all right, do it, dude. She got mad. She was like, do whatever the fuck you want to do, and I'm like, all right,
It's like, all
fucking do it.
right,
Like
I'll take that. I'll take on
I'll do
that.
it, mom. I'll do it, dude. Literally, I'm not even lying to you. It was every single day we would argue about me like wanting to. I'm like, mom, I am fucking doing this every single day. I'm putting my all into this. How can you tell me if I put the work in, if I put all this work in, and if I do it, how can you say I can't do it? How can you say can't do it if it's what I want to do, if it's my life and this is what I want to do? And this is like, I finally fucking found something that I can actually do that I'm like happy about, you know? Like, how can you tell me I can't do it if I'm putting this work in and you're realizing it and you're seeing it and you go to my shows and you say I'm good and then I tell you that I want to do it, you know, really like for real, and you say no, it's not real. You just saw me last week. You just saw me last night. Like I was up there doing, and you were crying. You were like, how can you say I can't do it? You know, like
Yeah.
so like that made me like fucking weird. And I would tell her, she was like, yeah, but this, and I'm like, I get it. I have to be like, I have to be look at reality. You know, like this is, it might not pay the bills right now, or like one day. That's the goal. You know, as much as like it's my passion, whatever. Like essentially, I want to be able to like make a song, like either sell it to somebody and like I get this money from selling a beat or a song or whatever, and it's like now I can feed myself and feed my family and do this, you know. So that's why I invested in all these things too, because I'm like, dude, I'm trying to like investments that I will create more, you know. So it's like as much as I didn't want to think that way, I'm like, it's getting to that point that I've seen so much and I've been exposed to all this music stuff that there's a market for it and I know how to get it now, you know. I'm like
Yeah.
working my way up there at least.
Yeah, and
You
if
know,
you've been doing it for a while, right? You've been singing since how old were you?
I have no fucking idea. Honestly, I just like I said, I don't want to. I am. We all have an ego, and we choose to put it up front whenever we want to, you know. But honestly, it just, I guess it just came easy to me. I guess some people are just like born just with that natural thing, and like I guess that's how I was like just born. I was just born this way, just
Yeah.
born naturally just to do that. And then I obviously I wasn't that fucking great, but it was, you know, it takes a while. You got to put work into things, you know. Like it's like, wow, how did you get so buff? I was just fucking born buff, bro. Like no, like people like you got to fucking work out, bro. You got to do all this crazy shit, you know. Like oh, how's your skin so nice? Like sometimes it's genetics is different, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess it just happens, you know. And then like you put the work in, and like oh, and then you get better, and it's like so you take that natural thing and you make it into crazy, you know, like a crazy big thing.
Yeah, and it's like I think that's a big part of this like happiness thing is like finding out like who it is that you are and like what do you enjoy and like do you know Gary V?
Gary V.
Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk.
No.
Okay,
Who
well
is he?
he's a pretty badass guy. He's all about I mean
Pretty
you have to look
badass.
him up. He's just a fucking he's a guy who's just like unapologetically himself, has a
Mm-hmm.
huge company.
Mm-hmm.
His family immigrated to United States from Russia. And then just a
Okay.
badass motherfucker. You can look him up after, but
Gary V.
he's like all about. He's a big social media guy, but
Okay.
he puts like love and
Gary
intent and
V.
happiness before everything. That's like his philosophy. Um, but that's like
Gary,
one of the things that he brings
this
up.
guy. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, there you go. That's the dude. It's a badass motherfucker right there.
Badass
Um,
motherfucker for sure.
but it's like you
Down.
have to understand like what it is that you love. Are you like are you good enough to like monetize off of it or not good enough but like you
You're
know like
realizing your own value.
yeah it's just like
Your own value, and people will pay for you know what you have to offer your service. You know.
yeah it's just like it's like a weird thing because like let's say like soccer like let's say you love soccer
I love soccer actually.
but let's say you're not like not to take away from your dream if you wanted to be like the best
Mm-hmm.
soccer player
Mm-hmm.
in the world but you
Yeah.
have to be understanding of the fact that like you have a particular physio you have a particular like circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes you think you want to be the best soccer player in the world, but it's not so much that. It's just that you actually enjoy the process of playing soccer.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
have to be like maybe
Yeah.
I'm not the best soccer player ever and I'll never be at the Olympics, but maybe my passion, I could be an instructor and maybe I could start a YouTube channel where I teach people how to juggle the ball and I could teach you about all the different things. So it's like I feel
Open the
like
door for
yeah,
people.
you have to be open. Like, okay, I want to be the best NBA player ever to exist, but
Yeah.
like, I'm only like, maybe I'm not actually built for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You have to be open
You
to it. Like,
all right. Honestly, I've been over time as like I get older now. I mean, I'm only 22, but like I'm starting to like understand a lot with myself, and that realizing that I we all had dreams of wanting to be the best at something, or be like when we were younger, like I want to be fucking famous, I want to be fucking this, like you know, like I want to be all this crazy stuff. But like I want to be the best singer, be the best guitar player, the best like songwriter, the best. But something that I've realized, I'm like, I'm gonna be the best me I can be, because no one could be the best me ever. No one could be better than me in my own
in
like
your own
me.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, in my own way. No one like so that way. That's what I started like. I've started doing that a lot more, and I'm like, man, of course I want to like of course I've wanted to sound like a certain person. That's how I got fucking inspired. Even now, I listen to fucking shitload of producers or like singers, guitar players. I'm like, fuck, I need to get better. Fuck, I need to get better. Fuck, I need to get better. You know, like, and it's constantly like always there. But like, you got to realize that you're yourself, and no one can be you. Like, as much as if I can say this famous person, fuck, I wish I could sound like you. You sound so good when you sing or play guitar, but maybe they feel the same way about something I do. You know, it's like, fuck, but I wish I could do this the way you do it. But we're just all built the way we're built, meant to do what we're doing the way we're doing it. And we should live like free from like live free from like judgment at least, like just be free. That's why I feel so free now because I'm like no one's judging. The only person that could judge me is myself. Like why am I gonna like feel bad, like
Yeah.
so yeah.
And I mean, like myself, like you, and I think a lot of people, like you kind of lose the motivation to continue whatever it is that you actually like, because you compare yourself to other people and see how quote unquote far you are. But
Yeah.
the mentality that or the perspective that I've embraced now, which really helps me to stay in my to stay content and to not dwell in this like
Mhm.
idea that I'm so far away, is this.
Mhm.
Like, let's say, Jared, you've always wanted to become the best singer, and that you've wanted to get like all these streams and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
Let's say one day you get to that point. Now,
Yeah.
once you get to that point, if all you've been working towards is becoming the best, like once you get to that moment, like you're still gonna want more. Like you're always
Yeah.
gonna want more, and you're always going to strive for something. But
Mhm.
maybe when your mentality is only to get to that point, you're actually not so much enjoying the process, because
Mm.
you're too caught up in the accolades or a particular
Mhm.
moment in time when you become quote unquote the best, or when you win a particular award. But
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
always going to be time after that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what I come to realize is that it's never actually about a particular moment in time. It's not about me winning the 1500-meter race at the Olympics. Like,
Mhm.
that is just one moment in time. So the only thing
Yeah.
you ever actually have is the right here, right now. And
Mhm.
because there's always the possibility to grow and evolve, like, it's all about the process. Like,
It
it's
is.
legitimately all about the process.
It
So like,
is. It
that's why, like,
is.
if you have a moment where you're taken away from the process because you're thinking about the accolades, or you're filling up your ego, you're taking away yourself from the most precious thing you have, which is literally just the simple fact of being immersed and having fun with the process.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's
man.
all it's ever gonna matter. Because guess what? Tomorrow you can be driving to the studio and you can get hit by a fucking car, and it's all fucking over.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
it's literally always the process.
I think about it all the time. Like I think about that all the time. Like it is all about the process. Like all right, for example, like even fucking famous people, like even your favorite rapper, your favorite artist, like look at for example, The Weeknd. He's he's a good ass singer, like you hear that?
Yeah.
Scream. It's my roommates. It's my
Okay.
roommates. But yeah, they're playing Apex, I think. But yeah, yeah, the weekend, sorry. The weekend, we all know he's fucking good. He makes great music. He's like really famous, whatever.
Yeah.
But and like it's like, wow, he sounds better now. Like his voice is getting better, his this and that. Like he is still in his own little small reality. We see his reality so big, but he's still in his small reality in his own world. He's not, like he seems like he's in our world. Like he is in our world. Or all these famous people are like in our world. They're like these like godly fucking people, but they're just the same as us. They don't like, they're it's surreal. It's almost not real for them too. Like it's almost they feel the same things. So it's like, yeah, I could meet The Weeknd one day and he's just like chilling. Like he could just, but it's just everyone sees all these like artists as like crazy, like why? They just make music. Like they're not like they didn't save the fucking world. Like like or
Yeah.
maybe they did with their music. Like that, if there's anyone that I can think of like that, it's probably like Stevie Wonder
Stevie
or
Wonder.
like or Marvin Gaye. Like Marvin Gaye, freaking what was it? That album, What's Going On? What dude? That shit, cause like fuck, that album is like it all sounds super similar, but that goes with like concepts of like albums, but like all the songs in there sound pretty similar to each other, but it's good that they sound like that because like it's what he says because like that album is probably yeah, I don't know, whatever was going on then, like it was he saved like a lot of people, like he saved a lot, like shit was crazy. Listen to
I don't know that. Oh, what's the album?
listen to. Well, I mean, my favorite song from that is it? I think it's called "Mercy Me." Have you heard that song before?
I don't think so, to be honest.
"Mercy Me." Search it up
By Stevie
right now
Wonder?
on Spotify. By Marvin Gaye.
Oh, Marvin Gaye.
"Mercy, Mercy, Mercy Me." Yeah,
I got it right here. The
such a
Ecology.
gorgeous song. Yeah, the ecology. What's going on? Well, that's the name of the album is like "What's Going On," but song's gorgeous, dude. Fuck, it makes me want to cry. Like there's certain songs that just make you want to cry. Like sometimes, you know.
I feel it, bro. I feel like that's the connection.
Yeah.
Like that's the connection right there, dude. Like when you just, well, I mean, that's the thing about art, that it kind of enlightens whatever it is that you're feeling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if a particular song or even just an instrumental, if it touches you in the right place, it just kind of, it really just helps to bring to light what it is that you're feeling inside. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you hear shit and you want to cry. It's like, man, you had that shit inside of you, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's just kind of coming out.
Yeah. Or even sometimes like when I write like fucking like guitar stuff, like just this the sound of certain things make you want to cry. Like
Yep.
it's just normal. Like it's just normal. It's a normal thing to have. You know. It's like fuck. Like I get even as good as someone might be as a guitar player, like or whatever instrument, like get past the whole technicality of like this chord is this, you play it like this, and it's like wow, it's so easy to play. It's not about how easy it is to play; it's how impactful it is. You know,
Yeah.
like it's how impactful like something sounds. You know, or like how it makes you feel like that. Because there's one song on like this like project that I have. It's like I showed my friend like a couple months ago, and like he was literally just like sitting there, and like I was like, oh yeah, and I didn't look back. Like the whole time I was looking, and I was just in it, you know, listening to it too and feeling it, and it was like silent after it, and I was just like, yeah, that's that song, right? And then I look back, and he's like crying, and I'm like, dude, you're a grown ass man, you're crying to this song. And I was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, man, it's just like, and he was explaining to me, he couldn't even talk. He was like, it's just like, fuck, man, it really like resonated with me. And like, and my other friend like told me, he was like, I remember him, I posted it like, damn, I posted like earlier this year. It was just like a little thing that I had. I didn't think anything special of it. And he was like, he looked at it and he was like, dude, you need to record that. And I'm like, dude, that doesn't even, I'm like, you think so? I'm like, bruh. He was like, yeah, dude, that sounds really good. And like, and I'm like, okay, you know, you are a god yourself. Like, if you say that, all right, cool, you know? And simply from that, him saying that, and then I showed my other friend, funny enough, like, there's a reason why he said that. Because when I showed my friend, he started crying. And I'm
Your
like,
other friend started crying?
yeah, my other friend started crying. I'm like, if it wasn't for that person telling me to record this song, like it would have never felt like this. This feeling would have never been here, you know? Like this feeling, this emotion would have never been manifested, you know? But it's like things happen the way they should, and you should accept it, you know? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
sometimes you don't know the type of impact that your words or your vibrations could have upon other people.
mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, dude, like, I mean, even this like podcast, like, I mean, I think the most listeners we've had on like one episode is like 40, but it always varies depending on who the person's on. Because like, let's
Yeah,
say if you have a bunch of people who listen to your shit, like there might be a
yeah,
lot of people that listen to that podcast, but it's
yeah.
like there has been like not too many, but there's been a few people who are like, man, like I really like your podcast or something like that, or like they really resonate with the particular thing that I might have said.
Mm-hmm,
And it's just
mm-hmm.
kind of like it's not that many people, but it's like
You
even if there
impacted
was
them.
no people, but the fact that there is even a single person that resonates with the message,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's a special connection that you now have with that person.
It's very special,
Like
very special.
nowadays, now you can reflect on that moment for the rest of your life when you literally just showed the homie a fucking song and then you look back and this person's crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you can't buy
yeah.
that. You can't buy that.
You can't
It's
buy that.
priceless.
You can't buy that. That's like, yeah. I definitely like value a lot of things more now. You know, like I'm not super technical about things. Like oh, like, because there's a lot of people that just like, all right, dude, let's make music. Like, we gotta be on it all the time. Like,
Just make it like a job.
it's not even like that, bro. It's
Yeah.
really not like that. Like, if certain people who do it, like when you do it, it is kind of stressful sometimes, but like, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. Like, we just sit, I just, just vibe
Just vibing.
accordingly. It's not that deep. This isn't like magic. It's not super, but it sounds like it sometimes when you're done with it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, like when you're not in a certain like place in your mind, like when you do something, like for example, say you're working out, right? Say you're working out and you're running, you're doing stuff, and like you're just doing it all the time, every single day, and you're like your body's changing, you become like freaking, like a fucking built ass motherfucker, right? You're built, and
Yeah.
like, and then you don't realize it until like after, like you're in a different like state of mind, and you realize you've changed, your mind has changed, and you're like, dude, I love, like, holy fuck, I look fucking like buff, I look like, holy shit, I look really good, like, and it's just me, I didn't see that before. And so like that that's why, like, when I like write songs, sometimes I just write it there, and then after, it doesn't hit till like after sometimes, or I listen to a certain artist sometimes and I'm like, okay, this is good, whatever, and then I go back to it and I'm listening to it when I'm just sitting down and just vibing, and I'm like, holy fuck, this
Like
is
all of a sudden it
amazing.
hits you like way deeper.
This is, yeah, I'm like, holy shit, bro, like this is crazy, like I get that all the time. Like Friday, bro, I fell asleep listening to Stevie Wonder, and I haven't done that in such a long fucking time, but he's like my favorite artist, but I haven't done that in such a long time, and I was just like on YouTube, and I was just like, oh dude, and I was just like recording myself, just like listening to it, and I didn't post anything, but I was just like recording myself, and I was just like, holy fuck, dude, that's so real. Like, you can, like, that, I am not faking any of that. That's really fucking me vibing like that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Like, realizing the like how real that was.
That moment.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man, is that like at one point in time, like I was like, man, like this is kind of a cool moment. Like, let me expose this and put it on social media. But the thing is, like, sometimes it's just like, man, like this is just like you don't gotta expose it sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like
Yeah.
like sometimes it feels right to expose it, like you want to
Mhm.
share it with the world. But
Mhm.
then other times it's like you kind of get caught up in, at least for me, like I'll get caught up in the idea of like, oh man, like this is a good opportunity, like I should put it out because it'll help with like the marketing, and it might help to like, maybe it'll inspire somebody else and this and that. But then
Mhm.
I do it and like I don't really want to, so then it takes me away from the moment that I'm having. And then now I'm thinking about how are people going to consume it, or like you're fearing judgment.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
just kind of strange, but it's like, and then I kind of reflected on like my running career. And I was just
Mm.
telling my brother
Mm.
this earlier. I'm like, dude, like when I'm out there running, it's completely just on my own.
Yeah.
Like there's no ego to it. Like, oh, look at me. I'm running fucking 15, 16 miles. Like I would go and,
Fuck.
yeah, dude, I would be running 90-mile weeks, like consistently.
Fuck.
And like
Damn.
there was no like, dude, like hell yeah, like I'm gonna go run this. Like there's no ego in it. Like dog, you're
Yeah.
literally out there 2 hours running. Like there's no, like you're not showing this off. Like it's not fancy. It's not this or that. Like it's just a
Mhm.
process. Like
Yeah.
so that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, that's how I feel about the podcast now. I'm like, if I'm really gonna, like if I really am gonna enjoy this shit and like love it the way I loved running, then
Mhm.
I'm not. It's not a big. It's just it's just it's just a moment.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
I would go for a 16-mile run, I wasn't expecting to be like fucking insanely better afterwards. It was just
Mhm.
part of the ordinary routine.
Yeah.
And then like, occasionally I go and compete, and then shit, people are like, God damn, this motherfucker just ran a 14:35K, or like
That's
holy
fucking
shit.
crazy though.
Or
Yeah.
like holy shit, like I'll even like surprise, you'll surprise yourself sometimes. Like I ran a sub 24-minute 8K, and like I was shocked at
Damn.
myself, but that shit happened after having months and months and months of just training, and not,
Train.
just invested in the process. And like you're not doing it
Mhm.
for anybody or any money. Like dude, I went to
Yeah.
I went to college, and I wasn't asking for scholarships, and I wasn't, man, I need to get a scholarship. I'm not gonna do this shit if I don't get a scholarship. Like I went into that shit in my third year of college. I ended up getting a scholarship, but I didn't ask for it. I didn't
Yeah,
ask for any of it.
yeah.
Like they just eventually
They
gave
gave
me a
it to you.
scholarship because I was one of the top runners, and then I ended up becoming the captain. But like none of it was because I was like
Oh,
pursuing to get money out of it.
Captain Christian.
Nah, nah, and I just reflect on like I mean, me even talking
Captain.
about it, I'll just
Captain
reflect on it.
Chris.
But you
Captain
know what I'm saying
Chris.
though?
I'm
Like
gonna
I
call you
have
that
to
now.
have this
Captain
motherfucker.
Chris.
Like the same mentality I had for running, like I gotta take that for everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, because I never
Mm-hmm.
did it for anything. I never did it for really the accolades or anything. Like it
Fuck
was always because I fucking love the
accolades.
process of it. I love to run, bro. Like it still is a part of me, and my body's decompressing right now. And I mean, I've left it up to just like the universe or that thing
Mm-hmm.
I kind of explained to you, subconscious serendipity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro. I might come back and there might be a time where I go out and run a sub 4 minute mile, which would be amazing. Maybe that day
Fuck.
will never come, but you never know. Like I ran the
What was
times
your
that
fastest mile?
I was like a 4:14, and this is my technically my freshman year eligibility of college. This
Fuck.
is when I was like,
4:14.
yeah,
Fuck.
but this is when I was like 19, bro, and like I was in a really bad mental state, and physically I was already jammed, compressed up.
Yeah.
So it's like I have faith in myself that if it just so happens that I'm able to get my body decompressed and I live enough, if I live long enough and that's my journey, then I'm confident that I could break 4 minutes in the mile. But
Fuck.
again, I'm not.
That's
I'm
fast as fuck.
I'm letting like the universe or God or whatever you want to call it. Like I'm leaving it up to chance because again, it's not about the accolade of me being able to say I broke 4 minutes in the mile.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love to do that because I love the process of running, and if I could get healthy enough to do that, then
Mm-hmm.
fuck yeah, bro. Like I don't know. That's why I'm just in my journey like day to day
Mm-hmm.
because 3-4 years from now, anything's possible. I could be at the fucking Olympics. Like I really don't know. Like,
Dude.
and I say that with
Exactly.
no expectation. Like I'm just
Exactly.
going day by day, but if the inspiration leads to that moment, then that's what happens. But I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
know that I'm only going to get to those moments as long as I let everything naturally play its course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Exact.
there's a million different ways that my life can go. The same way that yours can go. We
Exactly.
might end this podcast 5 minutes early, and you might walk to your homie's room playing a video game, and they might have like some other random girl who's on that chat, and she might say some shit, and then you might comment back, and then you guys might vibe, and then you get her IG, and then whole thing fucking changes the game.
You're right.
Or
You're
we might
right.
end this podcast
You're
10
right.
minutes later, and that never happens, but some other shit
Uh,
happens. Like you
yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
everything could change at every single second that you exist. So like I'm not going
Fuck.
to expect that my my vision is gonna come exactly to fruition in that way.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna let it run its
Hmm.
course. Like I might keep investing into
Run
music.
its
Like
course.
yeah, I'll let it run its course. Like
Like you run the course.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I do, dude. I fucking
Yeah. I
love
feel you.
running, dog. Like I absolutely
Fuck.
love it.
I like running too, but I suck at it. I mean, I still do it though, you know. I still run and shit. Like I try. At least now, like I was looking forward to like running and just being so like active. But like I said last week, and dude, I was literally like
You're back.
I could barely walk. Like I couldn't stand up straight. And like I think another thing was from me sitting down on. I'm sitting down right now, but I feel fine. Like I'm fine. But like I think me sitting down on this chair from me like being on my computer, like doing all this, you know, like producing stuff, you know, like it it added a lot, and I'm like, that just shows I'm not meant to sit down and be here all the time because my
Yeah.
body is telling me no, you know. I mean, you know,
Like
and
you
like
have a physical body that you have to nurture along with the mental.
yeah, and like this whole week I just like recorded and like did stuff without sitting down, and I'm like, I should not sit down. I need to fucking stand up. So I was just like standing up the whole time, just like, all right, cool, play this, cool, right here, all the time. Like I wasn't sitting down and doing anything. Like I was just, you know.
Yeah.
I have to take care of myself. I
Yeah,
can't.
because otherwise your back will get fucked. Like, I mean, your back's kind of fucked up right now, but like, if
Yeah,
you keep fucking going, sitting down all day, like your back's gonna get fucked up, and it's gonna take
facts,
away from your craft at some point.
facts.
Because if your fucking back is hurting like really, really fucking bad, are you really gonna be able to sing and enjoy
No,
that singing as much
yeah,
as
I'm
you
gonna be
could?
like, fuck my back. Yeah. So that's why I just rested and like I was just in bed like all the time. I was just resting. But it's good though, you know? Like you're saying, you said, who knows, in 3 years you might be in the Olympics. Who knows?
Who
Three
knows,
years
bro?
I'm 3 years I might be at the Grammys. Who fucking knows? Like
Like you really don't know. That's like the beauty in it, you
yeah,
know?
like I
No
mean fuck the
expectation.
Grammys, but honestly fuck the Grammys though. I don't want to be at the Grammys. But it's like, bruh, the weekend didn't get nominated for a Grammy this year. And he was the number one streamed fucking artist in the world. Like,
Really?
yes,
Jesus Christ.
yes. And it's like, and that I think there's a whole like he exposed like the whole thing on like Twitter. I saw like he like commented, he was like, man, fuck the Grammy. And he never does he never like says anything because he's like so low key about everything. And he was like, man, fuck the Grammys, this and that. Like, I guess just because he like denied some like performance or something for like it was like either perform at the Grammys or the Super Bowl, and he wanted to perform at the Super Bowl or something like that because he's never done that. And like they're like, oh fuck no, dude, and so they didn't nominate him for like any Grammy.
So it's literally like it wasn't based on
yeah,
like
yeah,
statistics and objective facts. Like it was just based on someone's emotions. Someone got pissed off and shit.
yeah. They're like, man, fuck this guy. Like we don't care. Like I guess apparently the people who like run the Grammys aren't even music people.
Artists.
They're
Yeah.
yeah, they're just business people. They're not.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not like they don't even give a fuck about music. They just care about the money that's coming from it. So I'm it's all just fucking stupid politics. Why should I why should I receive this award to like, oh yeah, this means I'm good. Like, what the fuck? Like I could
Yeah.
literally destroy that shit and it's gone. Are you so good? No, because I I broke your award. You're not good anymore, bro. Like, yeah, you're not. Sorry. It's like if you need that to be good, you got an issue, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
feel like if I ever got a high level of like attention, whether it's like, for whatever reason,
mhm.
I feel like I would use it if I even felt like it, but I would use it to like just say some real fucking shit.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
luckily there's people out there in the world who, when they do get these big accolades, they use it just to fucking preach some shit.
Mhm. Oh my god, like what the
I
guy
love that shit. Like I was watching, my mom was watching Latin Grammys,
yeah.
and I
Dude, I
think
haven't watched those in a while.
it was that music artist from Calle 13. His name,
Oh, yeah,
what's his
he's
name? I think
I
it's like
forgot
Rene.
or something like
Something
that.
like
Dude,
that.
he's
He's a
sick.
badass motherfucker. Like he was like, all right,
He
guys, like
is.
I'm gonna say some shit, and I hope you don't cut me off. And he started saying how like he basically said like, bro, you gotta live your dreams, and like this shit ain't for the fame, and this shit's about doing it for this, and that.
He's a
I'm
real
like,
ass
how? Like
motherfucker.
he's a real motherfucker because he
He's
said that shit and
good.
he had all the cameras on him. Like he
Mm,
probably could have said thank you to this person and thank you to that, and that might have got him more sponsorships or got him more traction. But that motherfucker just kept it real. So that's
bro,
why I'm just like, that person is actually doing it from the heart, you know?
like Joaquin Phoenix when he like got the Oscar for like the best actor, dude,
Or the
he
guy
was
from
like,
Joker, right?
yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
man, like please don't praise me. Like, see, we're all like he basically like acknowledged everyone like who was nominated too for that. But then
Okay.
he like went off about like what we're like, dude, I'm gonna send you the video, but he goes off about like he's like, man, the world, this and that, like what we're doing to like, and it just froze, and I was just like, everyone was just like, oh fuck.
Because no one's expecting that shit.
Dude, I'm gonna send this shit to you like right now. This shit's crazy. Like
Okay.
he literally like, fuck that. Trust me, after you see that, you're gonna be like, yeah, we're real fuck. Like why do we praise these people? They're just regular people, and like they prove it, like time to time. But people still want to praise them, and I understand it because I do praise certain artists, but it's fine, it's normal.
Yeah.
But it happens, man. It happens.
Well, it's just like, this is like another one of my friends. I had him on the podcast. He's super spiritual and stuff. But it's like, it's just very strange. And, a lot of music artists, some of them commit suicide or they overdose and they have all these mental health issues because it's like, I don't want to say that the human mind wasn't designed for it, but in a way, it's kind of like, yeah, it's very strange to get that much attention as a single human being. Like,
Yeah.
like if it wasn't for technology, there's no way that someone could be famous to the level that people are. Like back
Yeah.
in the day, being famous was like being well known inside your town or like
Yeah.
maybe within your county or your community, but it would never be that oh, literally everyone in the world knows who I am. Like
It's such like we're not designed to be famous. Like we're not designed because that just means everyone wants to know everything about you. Like people get obsessed about you. Like what the fuck? Shit's weird. It's really
yeah,
fucking weird. Like being like, oh fuck, like people just are just making music just to be famous. Like fuck, or like hell no, dude. Fuck that. That means you are strictly just doing it for that, and if you don't get that, then you fail. Like so.
that's your metric of measurement for yourself.
Yeah, like if I happen to not end up making money by doing this, then I didn't fail. It just happened in my
That's
life.
just what it is. Yeah.
It's you change perspectives, you change things. If I one day don't make music anymore, it's not because, it's just because I don't.
It's just like you said earlier. I mean, almost at the start of the podcast, like you don't even claim yourself as an artist.
I
It's
don't.
really, you're just projecting ideas and feelings. So maybe 15, 20 years from now you're projecting that into fucking painting and shit. Like painting in your garage with your with your significant other and you drink wine and just like to fucking paint and then
I
listen to
love
music.
one.
Like, you know what I'm
Love
saying?
one.
Like, who fucking knows, dog? Like,
That's why dude, when like I never like I've seen people like them or I mean everyone does their own thing, everyone expresses their way of being, like I don't judge. But like sometimes when like oh dude, I'm a musician, like I do and like they and it's like, all right, like okay, like okay. Or like, what are you? And then like or someone asks you, what do you do? I'm just like, oh, just this. And then like or you don't say like I try not to say anything that I like do really. I try to like keep everything like low key, kind of like try to
yeah,
keep it low key. But if people ask, then I'll tell them.
you'll elaborate on it.
But like like what I'm saying is like if someone says like, oh, what do you do? Like, what do you do? What are your hobbies? Like, what do you like doing? Oh, I like writing music or whatever, this and that. But if it's like I don't like I don't walk around being like, dude, I'm a fucking singer. I'm a
You're
fucking
not
like,
boasting about it.
producer. I'm a producer. I got all this crazy shit,
You're
dude.
not
Like,
trying to
I
make it
don't.
more than what just it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Because it
It's
is what it is.
not.
That's
It's
it.
really. It is. Yeah. It is what it is, and it's really not fucking like that. It's really not like that. Like I'm just gonna. Like, I'm going to the store to buy some oranges because I want fucking oranges, and I don't want to fucking be like flaunt anything. I just want fucking oranges and leave. Like like
Yeah.
it's simple stuff like that. But people like, I'm not gonna lie, I've fallen in love with like before when I was younger, like dude being famous. Everyone does. Everyone does. It's such a like construct that fuck, there goes my camera again. What the
Don't
fuck?
worry. Don't worry.
For no reason. But we're all constructed like I don't know who constructed in us in TV that being famous is like a crazy thing, but it's like what the fuck? Why do they want to be famous so bad? Like why are we constructed this way? Like why do we have to be this way? Like this is weird. And then I realized I'm like, man, this is so weird. I didn't know how much music meant to me because it's literally saved my life because I got past the whole like, oh, I want to be famous. And now like it's gone to the point where music has made me cry, music has made me this, music has brought me all these friends, music has like got me some of the best friends that I could ever ask for. Music has brought so much happiness, and so if that left me, I would be left literally probably with nothing, like.
Yeah.
And it's like you can never take that away from me. So I highly doubt I'll never make music ever again. Like I
Yeah.
never stop. Like I'm always gonna be doing it regardless of if I'm fucking famous or not. Like I don't care. Like I want to do this because I want to do it. Like
Yeah.
regardless wherever I am, my status, I don't fucking care. I'm just doing it because it makes me feel happy, and it fulfills me. I fulfill myself and I feel happy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like getting past the whole like, oh yeah, bro, I got an album coming out. I mean, essentially I am gonna do that when I am dropping like something, but like I haven't really dropped a lot of solo stuff recently. But it's better just to not like have it be like, oh dude, yeah, I'm working so hard. I mean I am, but like when it comes out, it'll come out, but I don't know. Yeah, I just want it to mean something. For the first time, like this project, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm by myself, so now no one's around me here to record me or like, all right, do this or do it. It's just all me doing it myself. So like it's all no one judging me, you know? I'm the
Yeah.
only person that so now it means so much more to me. Like this project that I'm doing so it means so much more to me, you know, it means it's more than just like, yeah, I do some songs I recorded, but it's like, yeah, it was me and my own space doing my own thing. Like it means so much more. You know,
Yeah, I
it's like
feel it.
it's a piece of me. Like it's literally me, like a piece of me. But yeah,
I feel it, brother. Hey, I'm gonna take a piss again, and then I'll come back, and then if you want, we can start wrapping it up.
yeah. Actually, I have to go to my parents in like probably like a couple minutes because
Okay,
they have. Yeah, they invited me yesterday to get food, and I haven't like hung out with my family like that.
I got you. Is it cool if I go to the bathroom and I come back? We'll just end it.
Yes,
All right, I'll be right back.
the show. I'm gonna try to make this camera work, dude. Fuck.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Yo, what's up, bro?
Oh, what's up, man?
Uh, yeah. So this is a cool podcast. Yeah, dude. So I'm a producer. I sing. Yeah, I'm gonna be famous when imagine what if I was like that?
Probably
Like
not.
you'd be like, get
No,
the
no,
fuck
no,
out of be
no,
like,
no,
get the
no,
fuck out
no.
of my podcast, bro.
I just don't think that by chance.
I'm
By
kidding.
chance, I don't think you'd be on the podcast.
Oh,
But maybe you would. I don't know.
imagine like what if I just came on here and started like,
No, it's just I already
yeah,
knew
bro,
kind of the
like,
person you were before you came on here.
yeah, I'm kidding. I'm
Uh,
dude, hell no. Imagine
all right, so I got one question to end it off.
show.
What's your message for humanity?
Oh shit. Damn, that's a question. Just I don't know. This could probably change like next year, tomorrow, but my message right now at least is um don't judge, love, understand people, understand yourself. Just yeah, just take that process and like really understand and love and, you know, just don't judge. Just be, love, typical, you know. That's my message, you know. Understand that we have been the social life has been constructed this way because of evil, you know, but it's not meant to be this way. Go back to our humanly roots, you know, who we actually are, enjoy like the little things that really like make life what it is, you know, like fuck TV, fuck like the famous shit, like fuck all that. It's all just like it's not real. Like, you know, what's real is your grandma telling you that she loves you. Like, you know, what's real is that your mom's telling you she loves you. What's real is that my stepdad invited me yesterday to go eat some food. That's real. Like, I'm gonna go eat some food with my family and spend quality time. That is real. Like, you know, there's nothing more real than just being that and enjoying that and loving every moment of that, you know, because like fuck, like I don't know. But I guess that's my message.
All right, brother. That's a beautiful fucking message, bro. I enjoyed that shit. So
Thank you, man.
yeah, Jared, I don't know how many we might have broken the record for longest podcast. Not too
Damn.
sure. I don't even know how long we've been recording, but I think we started close to 3 o'clock. So it's if we I think we did I actually did start exactly around 3. So we've been going for about 2:40. So
240.
Yeah, man, it's a long
Fuck.
podcast, and it was a great podcast, man. I really did enjoy it. I appreciate
Me
you.
too.
I appreciate you just giving your time to be here and converse.
Of course, man.
And
It's nice talking.
I'll be looking forward to just to being friends with you and just
Yeah.
being connected with you.
Hell yeah, man. Let's hang out. I mean, probably not anytime soon because of the whole stay-at-home thing, but probably soon.
I got you, bro.
We'll get some coffee or something.
I got you, and we could still connect via the virtual world. So
Yeah. Call me whenever. Talk
actually,
to
I
me
don't. I
whenever.
don't even have your phone number.
I'm gonna send you my number after this right now for sure.
Just send it on IG or however the fuck you want.
For sure. I got you, man.
All right, brother. Hey, have a wonderful time with your family. And
Thank
I'll be talking
you.
to you soon, man.
Thank you, man. You too. This camera sucks, dude.
I don't do it, bro. Dude, we could do this podcast. I'm gonna have you back on the motherfucking podcast, so don't worry.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Peace out, brother.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.